DC Comics has been the biggest loser between the big two for quite some time. But that has changed. It's changed in a big way, and it may last. And I say that as someone who is completely shocked by the way that things have been going in the direct market for the last few months. DC is trouncing Marvel. And I didn't think we would see this happen over a sustained basis. But it is. And I'm wondering, what does that mean? And how is Marvel going to respond to that?
Flat back.
To have the conversation, of course, we have Marco,
Celsius.
Tyler,
Hi.
and a very special guest. Some of you will recall him from the good old days of our show. A listener, a friend, somebody who's been in our community for years now, and I'm happy to have back on the show with us. One of the writers behind Bigfoot Knows Karate.
Oh yeah.
We've got Mr. Casey Allen with us. Casey, thank you for joining us, brother. How are you?
I need a catchphrase. Fifth cup of coffee. How's that? I'm super stoked to be here.
If it helps, I can't find a catchphrase either, and I've been trying for over a year at this point. So
Actively.
Thank you for being here, whether you are live or in the future. Make sure you smash that like button if you enjoy what we do. Let's gear up for a good chat. I love to see the audience active this early in the morning. Well, some of you, it's the afternoon or whatever, but you live in like the fake part of the world.
Central Europe.
the brush of Australia, some of them.
So obviously we've got a big topic on deck today. And occasionally we talk about sales figures here. I really thought it was important for us to check in with what's happening between, the whole direct market, but particularly between Marvel and DC. Because I don't think we've been in this position where DC Comics has taken 2 quarters back to back. Quarter 4 of 2025 was DC, and Quarter 1 of 2026 is DC. In fact, according to ICV2's Quarter 1 report of the market share for the comic book industry, DC has 34% of the market share, while Marvel has 29%.
Wow.
And Image Comics only has 11% of the market share.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not bad though. They're usually fluctuating between like 9 and 8, or
Yeah.
when we had numbers.
So that's the big three. And again, this is the same result that we saw at the end of last year, where DC had 32%, Marvel had 29, and Image had 12. So both Image and Marvel have Image lost market share. Marvel has stayed fairly steady, but DC has grown.
I mean, not. I feel like from the momentum we've been feeling, not surprising. I think that's the advantage that DC's had is back to back, bangers in terms of books, events, the character, absolute like Vertigo to a smaller extent, I feel like, but off to the races, man. Since last year, this is just the momentum that is carried over.
Do we have the numbers on how many books Marvel publishes versus DC? Because it always has been that market share is because Marvel really floods the market. It used to be
Mm.
that, right, Sean? That Marvel really like put out a shit ton of books.
They do, but they also have. That's not why they've had the market share. They've had the market share because their books sold better. But one of their strategies is to flood the market with a lot of books.
Huh. And it doesn't feel like that's changed. It feels like they're still doing the same amount of published books. Um, hmm. I mean, this is only kind of really proving that, what is it? What's your saying, Sean? Like quality
Quality
drives
creates
sales?
cash.
Yeah. Hmm. Man, as a Marvel head, this is like it's not disappointing. I hate tribalism in anything. Wrestling, comics, uh, anything really. So like I want the comics market to do well. And at least that seems like it's happening here because DC's doing so well. Um, so hopefully it's a rising tides lift all ships situation, but maybe it also lights a fire under Marvel's ass.
Why are we so quiet, gentlemen? What's up?
We're thinking.
I'm really wondering what the difference is between what DC is doing and Marvel is not, because it's such a it's kind of a bummer seeing Marvel not killing it with stuff. And their books are good. So
Yeah.
what's the deal?
I think for me, DC is kind of doing, I've said this on a couple of either episodes or videos that we've reviewed or put out, where DC is taking the cue from Marvel when it was in my heyday. The interconnected universe, the stories that quote unquote matter to the grand scheme of things, or at least having a tangential relationship to it. I think of like the Bendis era of Avengers and how there was a continuous story throughout that. Justice League kind of doing that right now for DC, Justice League Unlimited, where every part of it since All In has been continuous, and there's been a thread you can follow throughout. Whereas Marvel hasn't really done that recently. I think they're picking it back up again right now, but it's in the middle of it. So I think that really just helps DC. And then it's hard to, Marvel does not have an absolute line that is lighting, people on fire. They had an Ultimates line that started off pretty hot, but now they're killing for reasons unknown. So yeah, I just think DC is doing a lot of the things that Marvel had previously done better at this point.
There's a lot of commitment on DC's part. I feel like that's been the thing that I've gotten out of this the most is, they're not just doing the 5 issues and we're out. It is, hey, we're going to do the 12 issues. And if it's successful, you're going to get another whatever amount of issues until something, goes wrong. And in that case, I'm thinking of like a Poison Ivy as the kind of standout example of it being something that you allow to run, you allow to build its own momentum and build its own baseline versus just looking for the short term, here's the short term number one. Uh, can we get this big boost? This big bump wasn't the same size as it was compared to others. And so we're going to, cut it at issue 3. We're going to announce it if we've decided to cut it at issue 3. And so I think that lack of commitment has had impact. Same with the ultimate line. I feel like there's been a lack of commitment. It's all been going towards one endpoint, not for the sake of the story, based on somehow some of the books have meandered or how they just don't feel as integrated, which absolute isn't quite yet. But we understand that the world's still being constructed.
Um,
Sorry.
man, this this is a bummer for me. Marvel is so important to me. Um, and it's so strange to see them in this position. Like I'm a fan. So the market share doesn't affect me. I don't work at Marvel, and ultimately, who cares, right? But at the same time, it makes me question like what is happening over there? Because Marvel has always prided themselves on being the kings of comics. It's the house of ideas. And now it seems like they don't have an idea of how to overtake DC again. Matt Fisher with the 499 says, normally wouldn't do this, but I'm on the way to urgent care. Could use some love. Also, Tyler, good luck. And don't forget, we're all counting on you. Yes.
You're on mute, bud.
Why are you naming me after you dropped that bomb? Good luck, but what did I do?
Yeah, I hope you're all right.
Dude,
Yeah, good
Matt, I'm
luck.
sorry to hear that, brother. Be careful or be safe. I hope, you have I hope whatever's going on, you're ultimately fine. Let us know, dude. We can't lose you.
Tyler's on it.
We need Matt
uh,
Fisher.
yeah, I'm on it.
But you know, we could look at these numbers, right? We could look at this chart and we could say, well, Marvel ate or DC ate from Image, and DC ate from other small press. Okay, we could say that because Marvel's percentage didn't really budge.
Like
You
8 market share.
yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
okay, gotcha.
No, it ate in the lingo sense.
Yeah,
Left
Yeah,
no
I was like,
crumbs. Yeah. I don't know. Sean's using that terminology. Okay.
but Marvel is still number 2, which is not a position that they're ever in. And this report came April 17th. Last week, 7 days ago, we reported on the release of David Gabriel and other members of Marvel's editorial staff.
So we're not even seeing the results of that.
No.
true.
We're-
That is incoming, impending.
Yeah.
I'll be a few months down the road.
Yeah.
So this is to me, if I work at Marvel, I'm looking at this and I'm going, hey, what are we doing here? Because any business, and I got to imagine Marco will back me up on this, you lose market share, we have to have a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. It's revenue. It's capital.
And if you become number 2 when you were number 1, that like we always talk about it, I always say it, Marvel will not respond in any way until their dollars are impacted. That's the only thing that Marvel truly cares about. And that's okay. That's fine.
Well, even with the cuts too, that means that they have an eye on them from higher up in the business structure. Where, like previous to that, it always felt like Disney was just like, yeah, they own them, but Marvel kind of self-regulates in a way. But I don't think we've ever seen Marvel editorial cuts as part of a giant Disney layoff like we had recently. Like that was part of the Disney layoffs. So knowing that, like, because usually that works is it's the board says, hey, we gotta cut this amount from your area. Management then picks who gets cut. So that means like, hey, probably it's like, hey, what's not doing or what's losing money at this point and making cuts there. I don't know if that's a direct thing, but I got to imagine there's some kind of correlation between the two.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like in this scenario where Marvel is lacking and just lagging behind, they they don't have this longer term direction. I think that's one of the other things that I feel like I've harped on in the past is we need as consumers some sort of reassurance that they have a plan of action. They know what's going on because if they know what's going on, I know what's going on. I can follow the course. I can follow the track. We're on next level. We know for DC we're on next level. We know what the trajectory for all this stuff is. We know where the company's heading. We know maybe we don't have all of the events plotted out for the summer, just to make a big hit. But at the very least, we do have an understanding of how how people are feeling about the current state of uh, the publisher and what the future state will entail.
Oh, please don't say future state. Oh my God. Jet X with a 10 spot. Thank you, brother. Really appreciate that, Jet. Says, sup, pals. I think that DC has positioned themselves as doing what's new, which I do think they are. Whereas Marvel hasn't shown anything other than what readers see as status quo, however untrue or true that may be. Thank you, Jet. I think that status quo is an interesting word to use because what is the status quo of Marvel? Like I know what it is right now. And that's why I feel good about the books that I'm reading. Because Cap has a clear direction that feels like the direction of Marvel. Weapons of Armageddon is another book that I really enjoy that's tethered into that. Hulk isn't connected to that stuff, but it's telling its own story that does feel chunky and like it has a clear direction that it's going in. I'm on the hook for Spider-Man. I'm enjoying Amazing Spider-Man. I think that Marvel does have books that are going in a direction, but Marvel feels like it doesn't have a status quo, whereas DC definitely does.
Sorry,
Go for it.
As a reader who isn't always able to be there on Wednesday, I get off work and I have to get my ass in the car line and pick up two insane kids, and the comic shop is way across town. There hasn't been anything from Marvel lately that has gotten me excited. Um, uh, Jonathan Hickman's X-Men, that was nuts about that. Um, what is it? The Immortal Hulk, love the hell out of that. Everything that I've been buying lately, just like out of what has gotten me excited, has been a DC comic. And that's so outside of the realm of what I am used to. When I was a kid, I didn't care about DC as much. Um, I like the Vertigo stuff, but outside of that, I didn't care about Green Lantern. I didn't care about Superman. I didn't care about Batman really. Um, and now a lot of I think DC is killing it in terms of getting people excited about what they're putting out. Whereas Marvel, like, I I couldn't tell you what's going on in X-Men. It seems boring. Um, and I love the creators behind it. I couldn't tell you what's going on. Like, I wanted to go the other day to pick up an Iron Man comic, but Carline. So I'll come by. I'll go by later today probably.
It's funny because you're right, and I'm a Marvel head too. But like I've only started dabbling back into physical comics within the last year, and the stuff that's gotten me there, because I need to make sure I get there to make sure I can grab one, have been Absolute books. There have been DC books. The only time it's been a Marvel book, unfortunately, is if it was a blind bag that I wanted to play a game with. And
Yeah.
even then I had to pre-order those because they go so quickly. But it sucks that the only reason I need to get to the shop as soon as they open for a Marvel book is to gamble.
Yeah, yeah. And like the blind bags thing, like I can't get into that. I'm
Yeah,
too
it's not everyone's thing.
Yeah, yeah. I don't like having a lot of stuff as it is. So like I don't want to gamble on something that I can't be sure that I'm gonna get. However, like a lot of the stuff that I have gone to get lately has been, oh, I heard about it on your show and it sparked my interest.
Mm.
So you guys could be like, you ever thought about like payola and like back in the radio days they'd have payola?
Yep.
You guys could be evil if you wanted.
Oh, we definitely could be
Payola.
evil if we wanted to. Yeah.
Just back to Gen X's the second point there, where it's like for Marvel readers kind of see things as status quo. I feel like they've been eating at their member berries. Hey, remember all this other
Ew, I
stuff?
don't
Hey,
like that term. I know what it
the
is, but I don't like eating at them. Ew.
they're trying to pull in people based off the nostalgia of what seems to be familiar, so that way they could again reap those short-term benefits. I think in the example you laid out, Tyler, you laid out gimmick versus actual
Yeah.
craft.
Yeah.
That was the dichotomy is Marvel leans into their gimmicks that's been working to make up the difference, or in my mind, the difference in sales, that edge for Marvel. But when you remove the baseline from that bit of edge, you start to realize that actually maybe they're not in the same financial position as they are, and why DC is winning quarter over quarter so far.
You know what it reminds me of, Sean? Because this might ring true to you, Casey. I'm not sure if you're a wrestling guy, um, but like early AEW versus NXT Black and Gold, where AEW started putting out quality stuff on those Wednesdays, and then NXT tried competing, but then they were doing gimmicky stuff like the fucking pick a match on a wheel situation, and eventually one of them had to move off Wednesdays. It feels like that people are seeing that like maybe the stuff that they were judgy about, like, oh, DC was cheesy and corny, isn't the case. The fact that I can go to a comic book shop now and I can get there within the hour that it opens and they have sold out of a Martian Manhunter book is insane to me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know how Marvel isn't figuring out a way to get that kind of crowd. I mean, we saw like the artists they were able to get onto the creatives they were able to get onto their Spider-Man Superman crossover. It's not like they don't have a way of getting these creative teams. Like if you put Dan Slott, the Dan Slott and Marcos Martin, who did that Spider Noir and Fleischer Superman, you put them on a book and you let them do their shit.
Ooh,
I'm
I'd
sure
buy
that
that.
sells.
Do you think that there's a heavier hand at editorial where Marvel's concerned?
There's an issue somewhere. I mean, because I mentioned Dan Slott, and that's the same guy who now has to go on social media to explain how comics work to the fans. Like, I don't have to see anyone on Absolute Books talking about that, or DC All In Books, or Next Level Books, and outwardly saying, "Hey, if we don't do this, you're only gonna get 5 issues." I feel like we know so much from the creators on the Marvel side about the troubles behind the scenes that we just don't get it. DC can announce like a 6-issue book, and everyone's fine with it. It's like, oh yeah, cool, 6 issues. Marvel announces a 6-issue book. They're like, oh, Marvel can only do 6-issue books now.
Well, but in that scenario, it's like, Marvel is saying buy this or else you get, or else you don't get more than the 6 issues, and like
it's a negative. Yeah,
yeah, it feels like a negative outcome that is being put on the reader, which fair enough, that's how, the business of it works. But I think the messaging is not as tactful.
Look at the messaging on DC side. Hey, if you guys keep picking up this book, we'll keep going. It's literally a positive versus negative view on how books are published.
Well, it's also a different thing. If DC comes out and says, okay, this is a 6-issue series, the likelihood is that it will be a 6-issue series. That's just how it is. Poison Ivy is a very specific and different thing that doesn't often happen. And I think that if Marvel says, hey, this is a 6-issue series, I don't care, because that's what the story is. Traditionally, if you tell me something is 6 issues, I assume it is 6 issues because that makes story sense. What bothers me is when there is no end date announced,
Right.
and then it turns out it's only 5 issues,
Yeah,
or whatever, and that's sales based in that case. That bothers me, and I think fans look at that and have a lack of confidence in Marvel's new series because we don't know if it's going to be 5 issues, 10 issues, 20, 30. Like it's up in the air.
It feels like a rug pull, you know?
The messaging is this new ongoing. Oh, it's only 6 issues. Oh,
Yeah,
you didn't buy enough. It's only 5.
the term ongoing is such a lie now. It just means ongoing until.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Which it always meant that.
Sure.
That's always what it's meant. What is the problem now, specifically at Marvel, is that we just can't get past 10 issues on books that are 10, 5
Yeah.
now, on books that aren't necessarily lighting the world on fire from a sales standpoint.
Also, books
Um,
that have not even been able to been released yet. Like sometimes it's not even quality based, because the book hasn't gotten into the hands of readers. It's all about buzz and how much it could generate in pre-orders. Like, was it Intergalactic, Sean, that got canceled? No. It was Imperial Guardians.
Yeah.
which again, that's a pretty unique example where Marvel had culled the line. So Imperial Guardians probably didn't even necessarily suffer low sales, low direct market orders. More so, it probably suffered from the fact that Marvel just abandoned the entire strategy for the line as a whole, which is a bad look.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that just happened, but it did. Steve Canaris with $5. Long ago, I started following creators far more than company brand, and DC has better talent right now, writing and art.
That's the other thing. Is not that there aren't pockets at Marvel, but some of those writers, where those pockets are working, let's say an Al Ewing, he still at DC to some extent. Dennis Camp still at DC to some extent. Like they're being shared. The only places where it's a individual locked in contract is like a Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Chris Condon, I think, just got one.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then definitely McKay, right? Like everyone else feels like they're kind of floating. Oh, Bendis is coming back again.
I mean, is he?
I don't know.
Well, let's if we're gonna do it, let's do it, right? So Marvel and DC exclusives we know of. On the Marvel side, PKJ, Chris Condon. You
McKay,
have
I don't.
Jed McKay.
Jed
No?
McKay. You have Gail's not exclusive, but
No.
she's pretty much just doing X-Men. You have
Joe Kelly, I imagine.
Joe Kelly.
Not exclusive. He's doing Ben 10. So like,
Oh,
Well, that doesn't mean he's not exclusive because Ben 10 is not a DC property. Exclusive tends to mean in
Just
the big two can't work for the
yeah,
other
I guess so. Yeah.
company. On the art side, you've got Pepe Larraz. I believe David Marquez.
JR.
Yeah. It's not a terribly long list. Whereas at DC, you've got Mark Waid, who's exclusive, Tom King, who's exclusive,
Mora.
Dan Moore on the art side. Matt Fraction's probably not exclusive, but he ain't working anywhere else.
Yeah.
Right.
So just there alone.
The name power.
Like Marvel's got Hickman, but Hickman at this point is really
that's right.
he's just really doing blueprint work. I don't know, he's doing engineer work, it feels like.
And that's crazy that we just listed out creators and we forgot Hickman.
Well, because he doesn't have a book right now.
Right.
Which is also a crazy thing to say. Through Worlds, Through Moons is coming out finally in print.
Oh yeah.
But that's been done. Not done, but the stuff that is coming out in print has been in digital by this point and part of a Kickstarter. But now Dark Horse is doing it.
Yeah.
But like Chip's talked about him being the other guy behind the scenes helping kind of map things out. And you have Chip as well, who is essentially just at Marvel. With Mad About DC, that's the last thing he had planned at DC. So there are people, but it is writer heavy, and I think that's a CB thing. Because CB's big thing that I can really name in his time as editor in chief at Marvel is the globalization of comic art. The amount of unknown names that have come to Marvel Comics under CB that have been from across the world. I'm talking, you get your Thai artists, your Filipino artists, your Italian artists, artists that like we may have never seen before, is a good thing from a publisher stance because it's a lot of different people you can get. And that means you have a lot of different artists and you could put your books out on time. It does not make stars, is the issue. Federico Vincentini is doing DNX right now. He's only sort of finally been coming up as name people recognize, post Imperial. But this dude's been around for years at Marvel doing like, I don't know, what'd he do? Fucking Falcon and Winter Soldier at one point. So whereas like DC's got your Dragotas, your Danny Warren Johnson will come in for a little guest appearance here and there. You have your Jimenez, Mora, like there's a lot of like big name artists that DC has that by name, whereas Marvel doesn't really have that as much.
Casey, where do you come in here, man?
I don't know. I was wondering actually. We're hiring, or Marvel is hiring these artists from all over the place. Do you think, and there's nothing wrong with that, they're very talented. Do you think that having people available at conventions and, doing stuff with the fans, do you think that helps in terms of generating positive outlook towards the books? Do you think it gets folks excited enough to want to stick with them?
In terms of like being able to meet people face to face, DC's kind of putting creator faces forward as well. That I think that definitely helps DC. The fact that people can go to see Dragotta at a con and stuff like that.
But that has nothing to do with DC. That's the problem. That has to do with Felix Comics art.
Fair. Yeah.
True. Yeah. Those art collectives that always pop
Oh,
up. True.
I mean, let's be a negative Nancy about it. I think the real reason that the globalization of comic art and that Marvel has really been capitalizing on is beneficial to Marvel is because they can pay people less.
Yeah.
U.S. money will go further somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing that every creator, when they can say something about it, talks about Marvel, and it's that their rates suck.
Yeah. I feel like face to face is always a positive thing, but it like you're saying, Tyler, I don't think this stuff makes stars necessarily. Like because you really need a run. That's the sort of thing that is needed at Marvel, and also a lot of the times, I mean, even for some of their top tier books, we get multiple artists over the course of the same sort of arc. Chip Zdarsky's Captain America right now. I mean, like 4 different artists so far. We're at issue 9. Like
in the arc alone, not even just the issue number. Yeah.
Like we need a bit of that. We need that consistency to allow for names to kind of rise up.
Yeah. You don't get to say it's Chip and so artist's Captain America. It's Chip Zdarsky's Captain America with all the artists on it. Whereas, like, I'm reading Hawkeye right now. That's Hawkeye by Fraction Naha.
Yeah.
That was a not a singular vision, but a double vision. I don't know what the right word is there, but there was a creative vision between specific people.
So this just makes me think that it's editorial. Like you hire the right people and you let them do what they do. You don't hire an artist or a writer and put manacles on them.
Yeah.
You go, hey, don't fuck up don't mess up
you can curse here.
Sandbox.
Yeah.
All we do is curse.
Don't mess up the sandbox, but like we're gonna, we have you in here. This is going on here. This is going on here. You have this. Go nuts. And that's when awesome shit happens, man.
Go nuts. But actually, in like 2 issues, I need you to fill it into this arc we got going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is also like I'm sure so many creators at Marvel, like DC too, are pulling their hair out whenever they have an event. They're just like, well, that just blew my shit up. So
Ivy Moon has been a VI Pal channel member for 18 months. Thank you so much, Ivy. Says Marvel solicitation is to double ship a bunch of books and raise prices of all books to $4.99 apparently. DC sales are definitely affecting them.
Keep raising the price.
How many books are Marvel double shipping? I don't think too many.
So
We got
what Ivy's referring to is that the Marvel solicits for July suggest that several books will double ship in July.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And the Hulk book is going up $1 in July.
Oh, it's because people like it and they can get away with it.
They need it. That's one of their big sellers, so they probably make a better margin off of it. Damn.
Kurt Wildshut says, "Oh, and by the way, we are 3 of 10 of our goal, so we're already doing very nicely. Get us across the goal hump, and we'll play a game, whether it's the GOAT game later or the WOT game, depending on what we feel like doing. We will get that game in, so make sure you guys get us across the hump." Kurt Wildshut says, "An interesting narrative I'm seeing emerge is I never cared about DC because Marvel's characters are cooler, but right now DC's quality is undeniable." Yeah.
Huh. I think so too. I think there's a lot more fan buzz around DC. You know, we talk about comic talk, you know, the short form content creators. That's only really blown up in the past year or so on the comic side of things. And shit, all those people love DC books. So I think there's like just the fan fervor is really one-sided at this point.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree.
Clip it.
And I think that it's very frustrating to see that Marvel, who typically has all these advantages, is just not using them. They just don't seem interested in taking advantage. And again, it's tough to have that conversation because is Marvel putting their best foot forward with the X-Men? I don't think so. But who am I to say that?
Yeah.
I think Jen McKay's X-Men is not good, but not everyone agrees. So if Marvel simply doesn't think what I think, then that's all there is to it. How can we say Marvel's fucking up if creatively the people working on the books are happy and some amount of the audience is happy?
And also, like, Marvel didn't lose market share, right? DC just gained
This quarter.
Yeah. So right now, even from like the higher ups, it's probably nothing's on fire. You know, if they're not losing stuff, sure they're not gaining, which maybe is an issue because number needs to go up.
Right.
But yeah, like, and there seems no urgency from Marvel. The most urgency I get from anything at Marvel that like, hey, we need to recapture something is from Chip in his interviews that he's done, specifically with David Harper over on Sketched. Which again sucks that the creative has to do that. Like, God forbid the company does something to hype up their own books.
Trying to find it here. Last year, Marvel, this is from Foxtastic. Last year, Marvel had a status quo that ran through all of their books, but I dare you to tell me what happened in One World Under Doom or how it affected anything substantially last year or this. To be fair, the fallout is what we're currently dealing with now of all of that. But in the moment, I feel like the impact was less felt, less severe in the Marvel universe. And now is where we're trying to pick up those pieces. Chip's doing it leading up to Armageddon, all the stuff that's going on um, with Doom now. That is building up of interest, but that's only in the last few months.
I don't think it's fair to say that One World Under Doom, the impact of it wasn't recognizable in the moment. I mean, there were multiple books dealing with what was happening in One World Under Doom. I didn't like it, but those books existed, and it was the status quo. Doom was definitely running Marvel. Uh, there were plenty of books that were One World Under Doom miniseries, tie-ins. You had the Eight Deaths of Spider-Man, which was a direct tie-in. So I feel like Marvel put books out that tied in. Whether you like them or not is a different story.
Yeah, what was the
I think
impact
they
outside of Latveria though? Like the impact being felt in titles was what Sorcerer Supreme, the Scarlet Witch book.
yeah, like the consequence of it.
The consequences all over Marvel, bro. It's all over.
And like in the moment they're touching on the books, but in the moment it felt like we are just getting the side stories. Now I feel like we're dealing with the fallout of all of that.
Because you can only deal with the fallout after it ends.
But I can only think of like 3 books that are dealing with Fallout.
Dungeons of Doom, Captain America,
Sorcerer Supreme.
Sorcerer Supreme, Weapons of Armageddon.
Okay.
Well, loosely. I mean, the fallout is Marvel's direction.
Yeah, we're getting to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I just
we're
don't think
in
it was
it.
as I just don't think it was as clean as something, like Secret Invasion's Dark Reign. You know what I mean? Like that was clear, continual storytelling. Whereas this was like, hey, Doom's dead, but in a month we're gonna announce 3 more Doom books. Like
But no, bro, no. They've been on target with the post-Doom stuff. Dungeons of the whole storyline of Marvel is what is the result of Doom's absence? That like I don't see how is that different than what DC's doing right now. DC isn't even hardly responding to what next level isn't even a
Not a
response to
response.
what
no, yeah.
just
Yeah.
happened. Marvel has been all about their response to Doom.
Yes. Some books are addressing the KO stuff, like Titans and stuff like that. Titans, Aquaman, all that stuff. I don't know. I just feel like there's only certain books that are addressing the Latveria stuff. Even what Fantastic Four isn't even tackling any of the real fallout from that. Like Valeria died.
See, and this is the problem. This conversation we're having now is part of the problem, because if Marvel was doing that, then people would say, "Oh, well, I don't want to read books that are all tied into uh Latveria and Doom. I don't care about that." So it's like Marvel can't do anything right. And we're also not even willing to give them credit for the things they're doing right now. I hated One World Under Doom. Everything they have done since that to react to that has been awesome.
Yeah, I've liked the direct reactions. Dungeons, Cap. Yeah. I actually know I didn't like Sorcerer Supreme. Marco did though.
That was pretty good.
Ivy says next level is a response to KO. No, it's not. No, it's not. That says references Batwoman. Batwoman threw lip service to the idea that Darkseid is powerful. But Deathstroke has nothing to do with next level. That's a story just about Deathstroke. Lobo has nothing to do with next level. That's just a story about Lobo.
With KO.
Sorry, with KO.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have nothing to do with KO.
By design too, I think. Like the closest crossover was at the end of DCKO, where it had like a quick little splash page teasing like Batwoman, Deathstroke, but like that's all it was.
That's just a visual
Yeah.
connective tissue. DC has no we talked about it when we reviewed the next level books. Why are these books coming in response to KO? They don't have anything to do with it.
I think all the Superman line does though.
But I'm talking about next level.
Sure, no, yeah,
I'm
next
talking
level.
about-
There's not much. Yeah. The most of the direct fallout is in the reign of the Superboys.
Which the fallout is Superman's not here.
Sure. Yeah.
But why would people say that? People aren't off DC mainline books because of KO, says CW Gordon. Yeah, okay, but we still have to be honest about what's happening. We still have to look at the reality of the publication and say and be honest and say, yeah, Marvel is responding to One World Under Doom, whether you like it or not. You can't say they're not doing it.
It just seems to me that like they need to get their duckies in a row because
Yeah.
it's DC's eating their lunch right now. When does the movie come out?
December.
Isn't there supposed to be some type of like cohesive, you know, syncretity where everything is kind of building up? You want to build that excitement, and nobody, I don't know if anybody really gives a shit. Are you excited about the movie coming up? Like, I want to see it, but I'll probably wait till it comes out on Disney. I'm not gonna lie.
I think I think we're seeing sort of like, I don't know if the movie really matters to the Marvel publishing line in so much that we're getting a whole bunch of little Doom bite-sized things throughout the year. We have
Yeah,
Doom Quest coming out with some really good Alex Ross covers on it. We have a weird Doom blind bag happening in June? Something like that for like 616 day or something. Which I don't even know what the fuck is in that bag, to be honest. And outside of that, though, in terms of like his actual like Doctor Doom being present within continuity and being a playmaker, that's not happening. He is quote unquote dead. So I don't know how they hype that up in time to do some kind of publishing synchronicity with the film. I'm sure they will figure it out, but we don't know that just yet. We only with the furthest we have is July solicits at this point.
For what it's worth, I'm extremely excited for uh Doomsday, but uh is there a malaise surrounding Marvel and people's interested in it across the board? Yes. I definitely think that. And I also agree with this statement. Jesus Burgess says, I think Absolute is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Well, I don't agree with the Superman part. The Superman, Wonder Woman mainline comics aren't doing any better than most Marvel titles. Well, from a sales standpoint, you're absolutely right. From a sales standpoint, Jesus is correct.
Yep.
Absolute Batman sells 300,000 copies a year. You want to talk about heavy lifting? That's the combined number of probably what, 3 or 4 of DC's top other
Yeah.
titles. That's
Poison
crazy.
Ivy, Catwoman.
You're saying it justifies the existence of smaller books?
Yeah.
Hmm.
You can combine all of them into that.
Yeah. But I also think like that the heavy lifting is there for sure, but also does some heavy lifting in the Absolute line as a whole. You know, if you like that book, here's 4 other titles, which isn't that much, that you can also keep up with.
Atomic Hell with a 9.99 says DC feels like an ongoing creative narrative. Marvel feels like corporate turned the crank comics. It's what Paul referenced on Tuesday about creative aspirations.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like that's such an optics thing that I don't know how to like I don't disagree with you, Hound, at all. I think that's correct. But that is an optics thing. Because in actuality, they're not doing too many different things from each other. Besides the side micro line thing that I could think of.
The
I
marketing's
think,
just better.
yeah,
No, sorry, go ahead.
I think that there is a tremendous amount of fan, uh, goodwill toward DC that Marvel just doesn't have.
Yeah.
Marvel does not have it. I'm reading the chat, and like I'm not gonna pick out every comment, but you guys are not willing to give Marvel anything. I can see it. I can see that there is just a feeling of everything Marvel does is wrong, everything DC does is right. And while that isn't true, it is a narrative that feels like it is ongoing and won't change until Marvel does something that really, really knocks people's socks off.
I mean, it's perception is reality, right? Like if that's the narrative about your publishing line, whether or not that may be the actuality. Because like I always talk about how like Marvel has some really damn good books out there that people don't talk about. But you need to fix that perception. It's an optics issue. And yes, there's fan fervor for DC and a lot of fan support for DC. I don't think that it's a lack of fan support for Marvel. I think it's also a negative fan outrage to Marvel. If the constant narrative is that like, oh, Marvel only puts out 5-issue books and they're shit, even if people aren't reading it, that's going to be the word on the street, and then you get a bad rep, and then people don't like your book, or the books you put out, whether or not they're even reading it. Which is that fair? No, but that's reality.
And that part sucks. That part sucks. I don't like to see people criticizing things that they haven't read. That's super annoying. Like, if you don't like something, that's cool, but if you haven't read it, how can you comment on it?
Well, look at Disgruntled Dev here, and I think this is a very, very valid take. He says, I don't know, man, Marvel just keeps ripping things from me, and I'm tired. They took the Ultimate, then shanked Imperial, and now I'm supposed to be excited for DNX. Come on now, when will the inevitable rug be pulled? That is fair. Yeah, that is having a response based on your history of what you've been reading.
I have no issue with that perspective. I think Marvel has to earn back people's trust.
Yep.
They have to figure out a way to earn back people's trust. That's not like, from a business standpoint, them not having the trust of their audience is the worst possible thing. It's worse than publishing bad books. It's worse than the messaging issues. It's worse than the creative issues. People don't trust that if they start buying your book, they're going to get the full story, or that they're going to get a long, meaty narrative.
Something to settle into, something to build a habit around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You
can't even fall in love with a run. How the fuck can you get invested in a run? Storm got, I don't know, somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 mainline issues. And then the new series, Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutant, was supposed to be a direct continuation of that. And it's only I believe, 5-issue mini, as it turns out.
Yep.
We didn't know that shit.
Remember when you would buy a book and it would say if it was going to be 5 issues to be like 1 of 5?
Yep.
I'm looking at Armageddon right now just to see how many issues Armageddon is going to be. They won't even tell me it's 1 of whatever. I know that's a finite book. You should be able to tell me how many issues this book is going to be.
It's been planned, right?
Yeah. And I'm trying to think of like where was the line when this started happening? What was the last domino to drop at Marvel? And is it the end of Krakoa, or is it announcing the end of the Ultimate Universe?
The last straw
for this real fervor against them that started pumping out.
Imperial.
I think it was Imperial. Okay, because it was Imperial and Endgame being announced simultaneously, kind of.
It's the most recent thing to happen. Is Imperial having its legs cut out from under it. So I just feel like it's been blow after blow after blow. Forget about what's happening between the pages of the books. If you only look at the news that has come out in the last year about Marvel, it's almost all bad. They came out, and this wasn't necessarily within the last 12 months, but they came out with their answer to Compact Comics. People were angry about a variety of things related to that. When Marvel and DC both put out a crossover, people felt DC's was far and away more quality last year. When Marvel announced that the Ultimate Universe was coming to an end, people were so angry, they didn't even want to believe it. The level of denial was through the roof.
I still don't believe it.
See? Imperial. Everybody was excited for it. Then it's canceled. An entire initiative gone. X-Men. People can't stand the fact that these books don't stay published. They're just on a hamster wheel and constant events. Think about what I've just told you. That's all the major news stories about Marvel in the last 12 months.
Give me a good story about Marvel in the last 12 months. Can you even think of one? outside of Chip being announced for Armageddon?
Bendis being back
I was about to
at
say that.
Marvel.
For backup?
Well, he did the backup. He did he did the backup story in Avengers, and he did he had a story in
Oh yeah,
Spider-Man,
crossover.
Superman.
Pepe Larraz and J.R. doing dual art duties.
People are excited for half that announcement. The blind bag fiasco, C.W. Gordon points out. Like, it's not just that they had blind bags. That's fine. It's the fact that people were upset with their pulls. It's like, Jesus Christ, everything Marvel tries just doesn't work for people. And I can't even argue with that because all those news items sucked ass for Marvel. If you only look at the optics, it's terrible.
Yeah. And the most recent optic is corporate cutoffs, got layoffs, which also not great.
Yeah. Yikes. PR nightmare.
When stuff like that happens, when, like you were talking about Imperial being canceled before it even really got going, do you think that that affects creator input? Do you think that they're just kind of like, well, why am I going to give you my heat when you just shoot my crap while I'm trying to give you my best work?
100%. Yeah.
It's got to be depressing working that hard on a book and then just having it shot down.
When we had Stephanie Phillips on the show and she talked about how Planet She-Hulk, that was like, that ending was a surprise to her and she had to quickly change issue 6. You can tell how bummed she was about that. I mean, she was pretty verbally bummed about it and she was honest about it, and I really appreciate her in that interview. But that was not something that she wanted, and that was not her vision for the book at all. And she had to quickly pivot in a single issue, which is finally coming out this week, to see how that works out, to get everything back to a status quo. That doesn't seem fun to me as a creator. And then, like, if you keep having that cycle as a creator, and these creators all know each other, I'm sure the discussion will be like, hey, maybe don't work there right now, or like maybe don't put out your heat, like you said there, if you can do that somewhere else.
Invest that brain power, elsewhere.
It's not even just brain power though. It's money. It's the rights. It's a lot of stuff.
Rodimus Prime Rib says 6 issues is a crazy cutoff point. Let's take that. If you said, okay, hey, let's judge Immortal Hulk, for example, by the first 6 issues and see if it's going to last, it absolutely gets cut.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. If the Marvel of today is the Marvel that existed when Immortal Hulk launched, we don't get that.
Yep.
Imagine what it would have meant if, let's say, Captain America by Brubaker and Epting and Co. only got 6 issues. 6 issues is one arc. There are almost no legendary runs that we would care about if they only had 6 issues. It's impossible to get that pumped for a 6-issue story that was not originally intended to be a miniseries. It's not enough time to cook. I don't give a fuck who you are. I think Batman and Son is an amazing story. Is it my favorite part of Morrison's X-Men or of Morrison's Batman? No, it's not my favorite part of Morrison's Batman because they didn't have the chance to fucking cook deeply yet. I need that shit marinated. I like steaks well done.
Well, okay, let's not get there, Sean. Well, I think you might.
I want them cooking.
That's disrespectful to the
Okay,
cow.
all right. Casey's on the right side of history here. Cool.
Casey, don't start with me, brother. Don't get on my bad side this morning.
Sean likes a hockey puck.
I'm just saying, I need it to cook. I need a book to cook.
I'm trying to think of like when did Mortal Hulk start outselling Batman? It was well past 6 issues.
It was certainly well past 6 issues, and there was a little bit of a speculation thing with Hulk, but it was definitely a recognition of the fact that the book was insanely quality.
Yeah. I can't think of any memorable run that was either done in 6 issues, like on it, surprisingly 6 issues, or really kicked into gear before 6 issues.
And if that's the case, then there's an inherent flaw built into that process.
Well, we know there's a flaw at Marvel. What did Dan Buckley say before that? Was they were what, trying to guarantee 10 issues?
He said, I am now greenlighting books for 10 issues at a time.
Bullshit.
Yes.
No, that was before this, Marco.
No, I know.
That's crazy, though. What happened, bro?
Yeah.
Because that was, I want to say that was 2 years ago, 2024, maybe 2023 at the latest, or at the earliest that he said that.
I think it was...
So what changed?
Yeah.
I have said this before. I'll probably say it again. Marvel is a company run by marketing. It is run by its sales department. If we can't sell it, get rid of it.
Which the guy controlling that is now gone. So what the fuck does that mean for the future? Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe there's nobody then telling them like, oh, it's not selling. So now the books keep going. Because nobody's doing that job anymore.
I remember I got to interview Peter David forever ago for a podcast. And he told me that before he started writing the Hulk, he worked in sales, I think, and he was actually able to see those sales figures and kind of formulate in his head like, oh, this is working, this is not working. I wonder if maybe they took a little bit too much from that. Because I mean, Peter David did a fantastic job. He was an amazing writer, super good dude. I love talking to him. Sometimes, sometimes it's not just sales. Like you got to have the quality story to back it up. Peter David did. You got to have quality across the board.
And God forbid you have a loss leader. Like maybe that something isn't selling, but you at least give it a runway to start cooking. I'm mixing my analogies up there, but like, geez, nothing. And also like decompressed storytelling is the way comics are right now. So just the way these writers write, it's hard to tell that story in 6 issues.
Exactly. Because you're building the character up. You're making,
yeah,
you're dropping breadcrumbs. You're making avenues and alleyways for you to get to later and things to call back. And you can't do that easily with 6 issues in a 24-page comic. It's just, it's a lot, dude.
If you like, unless you get Busiek back to start doing like, Avengers era level stuff where everything happens in an issue, like that's just not the way people write comics anymore. So like it just hobbles the creativity out of the medium when it's that short.
World at War Comics, what's up,
Yo.
dude? Drops $4.99 on us. Says, good morning, gents. There are only 2 titles from Marvel on my pull list, Hulk and the New Punisher. Marvel needs to give more time for stories to develop. Let me tell you about the way things were in the newsstand era. And about the fact that in that era, the way fans operated was that a new book was not a book that they would want to touch.
Yep.
Right.
The way we value a number one, they did not. Because again, like comics at that time were cheap and disposable. There wasn't this idea that they could be financially viable for the reader as well, right? So their mentality was a book that only has 4 or 5 issues under its belt isn't a book that's necessarily going to last, so why do I even care to invest in it? That is the exact problem we have now, only that is being put on us by the publisher. That's not the fan thinking that. That's the publisher forcing that anxiety on us that we shouldn't have to feel. You can't trust that your book that you like is going to continue for even a year.
It also doesn't build that confidence with the creative team. It doesn't build that confidence with the publisher. I found the interview. It was with Dan Buckley from ICB2. It was May 1st of 2024. So a year, almost a year. Sorry, 2 years at this point. And where it was the 10 issues, give it that space, which even 10 issues, man, like you're still ramping up, you're still building up. Um, it's just odd that feels like we're just looking at the financials. We're just looking at the, lines on a spreadsheet to say what is up, what is down. It's not about the quality of the thing at hand. It's about the ROI, making sure that it's providing a good, strong return, making sure that we our seeing number go up. And that's the shame of maximizing revenue as opposed to uh, focusing on maybe maximizing the enjoyment of the reader.
Dude, I because it's so frustrating. If there isn't a problem and everything is okay, then how could it possibly be justifiable on Marvel's side? How could Marvel possibly think that 5 to 6 issues for a run is okay? There's no way they look at that and think, yeah, there's no problem here. It can't be, because the comic book industry has never worked like that since the days of the newsstand era. Back then, yes, because the idea was, every comic could be someone's first, and a lot of the readers were kids. They may not remember what happened last month, blah, 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 blah. That's not the era we live in anymore. So there is a systemic problem that Marvel themselves have to see. There's no way they don't see that 6 to 10 issues is not a run.
What if, and this is me being kind of negative on it, what if because they can cancel these things, which allows them to do a new #1 for another book, which will get new #1 sales, what if they see those sales of a new #1 to be justifiable enough to cancel a book? Because the pop is a good enough short term.
I think that makes sense. You can
It
probably
makes
map
shitty
that.
sense.
Well, you can map that out. If the goal is, lines on a spreadsheet, max revenue, then I'm sure that is it's viable to some degree. But it is constantly short term. You're at such a whim of things you don't control, the market itself, that uh make it so it feels like it's safe, but it's probably a higher risk than trying to build in longevity.
Rel YT says Marvel has a crit fishing build. Just fishing for that #1 crit damage there. Kinda. That's how I feel.
Atomic Hounds, our most loyal brother, been a member for 30 months
Whoa!
of the
Is that
What
channel.
is that?
Is that all of them?
That
So-
can't be that cannot be. Hound has been with us longer than that,
Yeah, also time is a weird soup.
because that's only 2.5 years or so. I feel like we've had
Yeah.
Hound longer.
Yeah.
But
Casey,
in
you
any
good at
event,
numbers? Because I can't math that out in my head.
Yeah, man, it's I've been up since 5:30. Yeah.
You're a words guy, not a numbers guy.
just want to say this convo is exactly why the Pals verse is the best place to be. Thank you so much, Hound. Appreciate that a lot. Yeah, I just think that Marvel has to be aware that something is broken within their system. if they can't keep the average title going for longer than 10 issues. Something is broken.
Yeah, and I think that's short-term investments it's what's breaking it. Because think about it. Let's use Moon Knight for an example, right? Moon Knight has been relaunched 4 times at this point, I believe.
Countless.
Well, you can count them. It's 4. It's not that hard to go that far. So if
We
we're
did
thinking,
just
all
have
right, go ahead, Casey.
Sorry, we just did have a trouble trying to calculate what 30 months was.
This
so.
is true. That's very true. Yeah. So maybe we only can go up to 4. I'm thinking like, all right, let's say it's 4 different runs. Let's say it's 5 issues each, right? So does the idea of Moon Knight going to issue 20 with diminishing returns month after month after month after month, is that worse than Moon Knight relaunching, getting a pop at a new number 1? Now that we're at a higher level, now we're going down a little more gradually, and then we're getting another pop. That is more money than if it just keeps going down, 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 down. There is number goes up occasionally, number goes up here, number goes up here. That's it. Does it make sense from a numbers perspective? Yes. It makes 0 sense from a fan engagement perspective. It makes 0 sense from a creativity perspective, and it only makes sense from a corporate perspective.
It's all ROI. Your average,
Yes.
in that scenario, your average cost, or sorry, your average return is higher than the longer term of a single title. You're right. If I can replicate the same average or higher average cost by doing these bumps,
Yep.
then it doesn't really matter. I don't really need it from a financial standpoint. But they're only looking at it from that financial standpoint,
Exactly.
seemingly. They have
Yep.
more gimmicks. The blind bag initiative across a number of books, the fact that they pop these number 1s, the returning, nostalgia events, like, yeah.
Do you think that eventually people are going to get bored of that, right? They're going to go like, well, this is clearly a ploy to bump sales. It doesn't have shit to do with the story. It's not going to improve anything. So why bother?
Yeah, like
I don't.
Super up here
I,
says the pop should be lower and lower though each time.
yeah, I don't read comics I don't collect comics. I read comics to collect the stories. I want to know what's going on in them. I'm not, gonna bet that it's gonna pay for my kids to go through school. Like, yeah, I have all those Beanie Babies in the garage for that. Um,
Do you have the Princess Diana one?
oh, absolutely. No,
There you go. Yeah.
but yeah, there is a diminishing return there. Like you can't just keep going like, oh, here's a blind bag, here's a number 1, no, like give us something that's good that keeps us there. Otherwise, like we'll find somebody that will.
But see, we'll find somebody who will stay there. Tyler, how many X books are you still picking up?
I plead the 5th.
That's the problem, right? Is that baseline is consistent because it's habitualized. Not
It's
to use you
comfort.
as an example.
It's comfort for me. Yeah, because
but
none of them are
using you
really
as-
lighting my pants on fire, but I'm reading them
Right.
because I like those characters and I want to live with them,
So
whether or
the
not the quality is there.
so there is that baseline of people who returns, and so the number 1 pop is that same base population kind of grabbing at the number 1s or new introductory individuals coming in, grabbing that number 1, people who are already activated as comics readers. But that baseline doesn't go away because there exist many a Tyler.
No, one of one.
One of one.
I
Here's
was
a
just thinking
five.
Tyler was the problem.
Yeah, you really just fucking blame me for that one. Jeez, fuck you too, Marco. God damn.
Just throw him under the bus.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I know
That's
who's
fine.
reading those X-Men books, Tyler. Jam. Yeah, like, you got people in the chat saying I'm the problem. Bye, guys. See ya.
Stream off.
Here's a 5 spot from Montero, whose name I haven't seen before. Thank you for being here. Says, what's up, guys? Do you think the corporate synergy that Disney has been forcing has hurt Marvel and will be its downfall? The originality is dying.
100%.
Speak on it, Casey.
100%. I believe that what they're trying to do is not generating a greater return from the fans, and it's not really bringing new people in, I don't think. Um, and that's what you want to do. You want to bring in younger readers so they eventually become old, angry assholes like us one day. Like it's not gonna happen if you just keep like servicing the fans that have been around for ages. It's not gonna happen if you just keep servicing the Tylers. You need to you need to
I don't like the term
that
servicing the Tyler. It's like sounds like I went to a weird massage parlor.
Love long time.
but yeah, the corporate synergy, I don't know. There seems to be some type of misstep somewhere, and they need to get back on track because I like comics. I want comics to proliferate. I want comics to be around. Um, my kids, they read comics occasionally. Most of the time is, it's manga and that's fine. That's valid. It's a valid form of comics. Um, but like as far as like Marvel and DC comics go, uh, we need to keep bringing in new readers. We need to look at what's working in other markets that are bringing in new readers. The synergy that Disney's doing is, I think, it's a misstep.
The I wonder how much Marvel will actually be able to correct if they're losing editorial, if they're losing leadership, if the machinations, the people who would impose those machinations downward, those forces are not any longer there, and it is just keeping things afloat. You can't innovate under that kind of a presumably you can't innovate under that kind of an environment because creators are stretched thin, editors are stretched thin, executives are stretched thin, and beyond even the movie influence, the corporate influence now from down high, from up high, is uh, is gonna slow any kind of righting of the ship.
Want to say a quick hello to Chicago Schultzy, who says new to the channel. Hello, panel, community, and chat. One love from Chicago. Thank you. Love right back to you. Welcome to the channel. Hope you enjoy us. And everybody who's here with us, we've got over 130 of you. Make sure you smash that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do that. We're on the road to 7,000 subscribers, and I would love to hit 7K subs as we hit 500 episodes.
Let's go.
We're on 497, so we're on our way. Andrew Dunson dropping 499 on us, putting us at 7 out of 10 on our goal. Says Marvel is WWE under Vince circa 2015 right now. Pushes over before they begin, no long-term planning, and an antagonistic relationship with the fans.
Let's hope
Worst
that's
era.
yeah. Let's hope that's where the events similarities end as well. I wasn't watching around that time, Sean. Is that accurate?
Look, it's accurate in the sense that I can think of a lot of companies that have had this happen. It's the apathy and the defeat that comes from victory. I think about the fact that almost immediately after WWE purchased WCW, the quality went down because they stopped having any kind of real competitor. They weren't as motivated. When Sony released the PS3 and that dominated, people will definitely recall the fact that the PS4 era was kind of ass after the fact because Sony was defeated by victory. They thought, oh, you can afford our console. You need our console. You needed the PS3. This is what they do. And Marvel isn't motivated to change because they're winning. And now that we're starting to see things change a little bit and they're losing a little bit more, I think we might see a shift. But as of right now, is the relationship antagonistic? Yes. I do personally think it's one-sidedly antagonistic. I think it's antagonistic on the side of the fans. I don't think Marvel has made a corporate statement that feels antagonistic towards its readership. Although some people take Tom Brevoort's comments to be that, but I don't.
I mean, I think the constant hobbling of initiatives at the knees can lead to antagonism to fans. That's a corporate decision that is pissing fans off.
But
It's not a statement, but
yeah.
On the other hand, sometimes I don't think that fans are always like going to be right. Sometimes like if you got a hot story and you know you have a good team, you have to trust that team to do their job. That comes from editorial like backing off. And also sometimes you just gotta blot out the fans and let them discover like, oh, this is actually good. They don't know what they want until they get what they want sometimes. Um,
I want 10 issues, damn it.
yeah, that's true.
which seems bare minimum at this point. You know,
It seems like
you told me you made a corporate statement that I would be getting 10 issues
2 years ago.
Where are my pickles? You know,
Super job. Thank you for the correction. It was PS2 to PS3, not PS3 to PS4.
Yeah, I was gonna say PS4 had great games.
PS3 did too. It wasn't a games issue; it was a price issue. So yeah, you're definitely right. Kurt Wildshit says, I read Marvel's posture as anxious, risk averse, not resentful. Agreed. I do think that they are anxious and risk averse. I think what we're seeing from them is that their ecosystem is not the same one that DC is playing in.
Yeah.
That's how it feels like Marvel is behaving. But we're talking about Q1 of this year. We've got even more specific data than that. Beyond the jump, where I'm going to shout you guys out, we've got from Prana Direct Market Solutions the top 400 best-selling comics for the week of April 14th. We're going to run down not all 400, but just a few and point out what I think are some really interesting trends and stuff like that here in a moment. Before we get into that, though, I do want to say thank you and shout out the people who make the show possible every week, our sponsors, you. So if you want a shout out, patreon.com is the best way to do it. If you want to support your boys, put your money where your mouth is. We love you for that. We love these people. Special shout out to our pals versus legends, the Hound of Justice, Atomic Hound, Starcross, Catherine Stars, the Spear of Judgment, Jay's Jumble, Safe Haven, Hayden's Hideout, the Red Spiral, Spiral Storm, Jesse and the Juggernaut, Kyle the Zenith Flare, Panda v Panda, Ted Wong, Adam Solis Smith, who I hope is listening right now, and we're helping him pass the time. Sam, the Last Young Renegade, Blur, Jekyll, Jose, Entertain, and me, Peter, Living Lightning Electrics, Just Unseen, Shalom, Paladin, Warburg, Jamzilla, the Party Animal, Cosmeandric, Chris, the Cure Coleman, who recently upgraded to become a Pals vs. Legend. Huge shout out to you. Thank you for that. And thank you to Pals vs. members, Brian Demolished Del Pozo, Kefis the Incorruptible, Momentum Mike Elliott, Dan the Truth to Roll, Marley Manastorm, Slow Flow Dammer, and Christian Uncaged, The Spear of Justice, Izzy's Issues, Robert Runback, Pat Cashaback, Pete the Dreamweaver, Collins, James, Just Jamming Jones, Paul Powerhouse Smith, Neon Knight the Cosmic Avenger, BJ Kicks of Comics Are Dope, The Grand Alchemist, Chop Harder Alchemist, and John Barrier B. If you did not hear your name and you're supposed to, keep listening.
Keep listening. There's more. Whoa.
I really need a legally distinct instrumental that sounds definitely not like We Didn't Start the Fire to put during that. So for any musicians in the chat, let me know.
All right. So let's turn it over to Prana. And before we do it, I want to say, yes, I'm aware of the fact that this is not all comic shops in the world. This may not directly reflect the sales at your shop. According to this, it's 600 plus stores in the managed comics and comic shop assistant systems.
Yeah.
That's a nice chunky number. It's not all comic shops. Get over it. Let's do this. Number one with a bullet, of course, is Absolute Batman number 19.
Bang bang.
No doubt about it. Number 2 is Lobo.
That's pissing me off.
I, I have a bone to pick with you guys, actually, and
Oh,
if I can't do it here, it's fine. But
Do it here. Yeah, please. I love
you
it.
guys, I'm older than you by at least 10 years, I think. Lobo in the 90s was super fun. He was oversaturated, like in the titles. He was doing guest appearances all over. His solo books were super fun. They were dumb as hell, but just really fun. And I'm glad to see that DC is trying to do something with him.
Huh.
They kind of redid his look maybe 15 years ago, and it was dumb. I didn't really appreciate it.
You didn't
But
like Twink Lobo?
I mean, yeah, it was a bit. It was stark. It was way different than what I was used to, and so I'm glad to kind of see him make a return. And I don't think that the humor in the 90s Lobo would really go over as well today. However, I don't know, man. I think it
Okay.
might be fun to see what people can do with. Uh, the main guy that wrote him passed away, I think, last year. Um, so that's a bummer, but I don't know. Yay, Lobo.
So,
Sorry.
so as an OG Lobo head, do you think that he was on ice long enough now the want for him is back?
I don't know. It might just be me this happy to see him, but I don't know. He's number two.
It's not just
So
you. He's
like,
number 2. Yeah.
yeah, it's old fuckers like me. They're like, holy shit, Lobo.
Yeah.
So
This is issue 2, by
yeah,
the way.
yeah,
It's not even the first issue.
yeah. I mean, that's encouraging. And they got the guy who should be playing Lobo to play him in the upcoming
It's
Superman
fair.
movie or
Fair.
Supergirl. So that might be cool. I don't know, like when he was cast as Aquaman, I was like, "He really should be Lobo." But I don't know. It should be fun.
So your bone to pick with us is that we didn't like Lobo.
It's not that. It's that I don't know that you guys were as well versed in what Lobo was in the 90s. And I was kind of like, come on, he's really fun, guys. It's like when you have one group of friends that really, really hates another friend that you have, and you're like, come on, he's not bad, I promise. He got drunk that one time. It's okay.
He got drunk and he liked to do the splits. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, Lobo, give him a chance, guys.
This is
I
the nice
did.
way of saying this is the nice polite way of saying put some respect on his name when you talk about him next time.
Exactly.
We won't be, but that's okay. I still love you, Casey. Mark W, who I am now going to believe is Mark Wade. So welcome to the chat, Mark Wade. Says it helps that it's Scotty and Jorge doing it, which is an incredible pairing. You would say that, Mark Wade, because you're an ambassador for DC Comics.
Sure. Thanks, Mark Wade.
Yep. Now let's go back to the list. Invincible Battle Beast is number 3. That's issue 8. Ultimate Wolverine. Now, this is what I was wanting to get to. I wanted to get to the Marvel books. And I want to see how many of them are at a number that is higher than 10. Okay. So we got 1, Ultimate Wolverine at 16. And by the way, this is just 1 week, right?
Yeah.
So,
So Ultimate Wolverine being up there because it released this week makes sense.
Yes. Deathstroke was number 5. Batwoman was number 6. X-Men United was number 7. That's issue 2. Venom was number 8. That's issue 257.
Wepa.
Which
now
was that the death of?
That's a Paul, right?
That was the 14th. I don't know. That wasn't the death of Paul because I didn't bust my nut that time. What was it?
Okay.
That was the aftermath.
It was the aftermath of it. Yeah. The
issue later.
subsequent issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's
Two.
that 257 is the legacy number.
Oh, right.
This is actually issue. Do you know, Tyler?
No, once it hit was it 250, it went to legacy numbering because it was all new Venom until it hit 250, then went back straight to Venom. It's well in though. It's probably over 12 for sure. So it's
Okay.
over a year. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. So we'll count Venom. That's 2. Fireborn was number 9. That's issue 1 of that, of course. Then you have Superman, Spider-Man at number 10. That did not come out this week, the week of the 14th. Otherwise, obviously, would have done much better. You got G.I. Joe, Nightwing, Wonder Woman, Magic and Colossus, issue 3, Alias Red Band, issue 2. New Titans, Superman Unlimited, Daredevil
Alias.
1, which did not drop that week. Yeah, Alias. Yep, the red band. Catwoman is in the top 30. Hab made number 25.
Wow.
Nectar's in there at 22. Somehow those books all performed better than Planet of the Apes versus Fantastic Four, which seems a little bit strange. Web of
Really,
Venom.
though?
Did that come out this week?
No.
Yeah,
That was
couldn't have.
see this is the one issue I have with this is that like this week that was given is a very DC heavy week. Like Ultimate Wolverine was Marvel's biggest book to come out that week. Typically, I feel like Marvel avoids like this is a week where Nightwing, Absolute Batman, and 2 next level books came out, or 3 next level books came out. So it's a very important week for DC. So that's why I'm not surprised when like the only stuff Marvel has in there isn't necessarily their big shit.
Yeah, that's absolutely valid to point out. And again, when you're looking at this kind of thing, the data is data, but data is you have to have context for data. So
It's
that's
trends.
good to point out.
Yeah.
I also want to point out that from a market share perspective, this week that we're discussing, DC had 43% of the market share.
Wow.
Marvel had 26, Image had 18. IDW fell to 2, Bad Idea with 1.8, etc., etc., etc. Boom Entertainment has less than 1% of the market
For this week.
for this week. Yes.
For
Something going
that
on.
week.
Yeah. Something going on over there?
A little bit.
Isn't there always something going on over there?
Yeah.
Well, it's sometimes a lack of things going on there.
Yeah.
And this was the they
Week of
say the
14th.
And that's
why,
off volume.
why does their
right?
week start on a Tuesday for them? Yeah, I mean I'm looking at that week. DC did publish more books though. So if I'm looking at Lead Comic Geeks, it gives me the number of books that are being published by that company. And let me just do single issues. Let's see, type comic book format. We'll do regular issues and annuals and apply. So yeah, DC put out 19 books that week. Marvel only put out 6.
Okay.
So it does like Webtoon and Image put out more books than Marvel that week.
Sure.
CW Gordon does ask what I think is a good question, though. What would Marvel's big week look like?
Probably, what was it? 2, no. Yeah, I mean, I'm like DC kind of like does their weeks in waves, I feel. Like all these next level books, that first 3, the wave of 3 always comes out at the same, or at least the 2 times it's come out have come out together. And I think at the same time as an Absolute Batman. So that's a big DC week. But like I'm trying to think of like Marvel's kind of just like piecemealed throughout.
This
I mean,
week.
this past week,
coming-
yeah.
DC.
This coming week, I think, is a big Marvel week.
This week we got Marvel's Spider-Man, Superman.
True.
We got
Yep.
Amazing Spider-Man. We got
Cap.
Captain America. We got Hulk, Moon Knight, and Wolverine and Deadpool.
Cyclops,
Cyclops as
Rogue.
well. Those are big. Those are big hits for Marvel. And like Tyler said, next week is also a chunky week because you got Ultimates, you got Cap again, Uncanny X-Men. But again, that's what a big quote unquote Marvel week looks like. And I don't know that like that's really that crazy. They don't have an absolute Batman.
Right, right.
Yeah.
For that given week to overtake, right? Like Cap isn't going to put those numbers up on the board. Even the Ultimates at this point ain't going to put those kind of numbers up on the board.
Yeah, I think I would love to see if I don't know if you guys know the answer to this, but if Prana did monthly stats, like that is more interesting to me because I think that is a better trend indicator than weekly. Because trying to dissect the weekly is tricky because it depends on like the
Not
week.
wrong.
And I'm looking at like Marvel's big weeks. Marvel will be publishing more DC books this coming week on the 29th. And then Marvel again does more the following week in May 6th. So they seem to like, and then like if we're looking at May 13th, it says Marvel's only publishing 2 books that week. How? Ain't no way.
Ain't no how.
I think that just didn't update on my end. Okay.
I'd really like to get in them guts on the like historical data of that and just look at it, just see how far back we can go and just just to see when's the last time Marvel had a huge week.
Honestly,
End game #1.
I think it's this week.
When you say a huge week, are you talking about the amount that they published or the
Just
sales?
sales figures.
Oh, Daredevil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, okay.
Anything with a blind bag at that point.
Yeah. Which you said Endgame too, which was ironically blind bag week.
Yeah.
I think in terms of like a normal week, like next week seems like a big one where, Marvel's putting out Ultimates, Cap, Uncanny, Weapons of Armageddon, Punisher, and then the free comic book day stuff is coming out as well from Marvel. I think that in comparison, like DC's big book is Satana. So they ebb and flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think that when I look at the publishing lines of both, it feels like DC's is stronger in the sense that there are more books that they put out that feel like people are really attached and care about them. We'll keep looking at these numbers and see what we learn, see if Prana does monthly. I don't think they do, but it's very possible that I'm wrong on that. And Hound, if you know better, please correct me. But in any event, I think when we look at all this stuff, the one thing that feels undeniable to me is that there is a fervor and an excitement behind DC. They've got the Midas touch, whereas Marvel has the opposite of that. That doesn't mean Marvel's books are bad. Not at all, in fact. I would argue Marvel has some pretty solid books. But I think pound for pound, DC's publishing better comics to me, from my taste buds.
Yeah, agreed.
DC's books are also selling more consistently at the top end. DC has the biggest book being published in the direct market right now. They have all the goodwill in the world. They've got the better compact solution. They've got the better children's book solution and young adult book solution. It's hard to beat. Marvel's a lot of work to do.
A lot of ground to regain, which that feels almost harder.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. So we'll see. I think Armageddon is going to be the difference maker. I really do.
It has to be. Like if that flops, that ain't good. I don't see a world where it flops. But I see a world where it could be a one world or Doom. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was saying the same thing with Endgame, and that didn't happen. So I feel like I'm expecting something that like I'm more hoping to happen. But I just feel like there's no way that Marvel can stay down this long.
Could be cope though. As Marvel heads, we could be coping. I recognize that for myself at least.
It just feels logical. It just feels logical that Marvel's going to bounce back. All 20 years of my reading comics tells me that this is not sustainable. But we're in an unprecedented time, I guess.
The numbers are telling a different story, and we're not through all the ramifications yet. You know, like there's still more. The other shoe has yet to drop from an executive level at Marvel, which probably is the biggest worry, and that's gonna affect things, you know, in 6 months' time, 3 months' time, even based on how quickly Marvel seems to go.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We will keep our eye on it for sure. Rel says they smell some loose copium. What does copium smell like? It's probably not good, dude.
Ooh,
Probably stuff like that makes you feel like, you know, like you remember something comfortable, like grandma's pancakes in the morning.
like Spice Girls lollipops.
I'm not going to explain this, but I know what meth smells like. And for some reason, I imagine that copium smells like meth. I've never done meth, by the way, but I feel like it smells like that. And it's not a good smell. It's a very
Doesn't seem like it'd be
weird,
pleasant.
chemically smell.
That's vile,
People,
Sean.
It is. It
I'm
is.
imagining like bug spray.
yeah. Ooh, Munster, freshly cut grass. I do like that.
Um, Foxtastic says, I don't think I understood the chart, and I don't understand what Armageddon is even supposed to be about. Well, the chart just is just telling us like the sales figures for the week of April 14th,
Ranked.
and it's ranked. On the left side, you can see the rank. On the right side, you can see the issue number. That's all we're really going off of. And then what is Armageddon about? It's about the origin boxes from the Ultimate Universe that have powers um, that they're going to be bestowing upon random citizens, apparently, within the MCU or within the Marvel Universe, not the cinematic universe.
What's
Hopefully not.
what's that one dude's name? Homunculus. What is his name? Horrificus.
Hostilicus. Hostilicus.
Hostilicus. There we go.
Unreal. Rel says Armageddon doesn't have the hype that DCKO had. I can't see it turning around public opinion, even if the books are good. Well, that's a shame. That's a shame. Dan Trudeau says, not to sound like a broken record, but I will believe in a new Marvel era when they announce new leadership.
You're going to announce new leadership?
Well, I mean, somebody's got to replace David Gabriel, who was in a position of leadership, right?
Do they?
Well, that's
Like
what I
they
fear.
need.
That's what I fear. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's corporations right now love to cut jobs and never fill those spots again.
I don't know that we're going to see a regime change at Marvel for a while, honestly. The only reason we had one at DC was just cuts. Cuts, and Dan Trudeau made himself insufferable to the people he was working with. But it seems like, by all accounts, the the people running the show at Marvel are well liked. They've been at their jobs largely in some form or fashion for 20 years. Tom and CB have definitely been there for 20 years, not in the same roles, but they have been there. Dan Buckley as well. So I'm not calling for anybody to be fired. I don't want to see that, but I do want to see something change.
Yeah.
I don't know what that has to be. A philosophy, I guess, behind the scenes.
business structure.
Yeah. Like, do you guys think, if you're being honest, like, fuck the message. Fuck the message. If you're being honest right now, is that what you think has to be different?
New leadership. Where do you see that leadership being? Are you talking Dan Buckley? Are you talking CB? We're talking like what level, or anywhere really?
Whatever that means to you.
Unfortunately, yeah. I feel like leadership is just complacent right now, and nothing's lighting their ass on fire.
I would agree.
I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence because
Get the fuck off the fence. Pick a side.
just because when in a corporate structure like this, so much of it gets dictated beyond even the
Yeah.
people at the top, and so they they have the experience to fight the battle against what to some degree, let's say, right, like against maybe the full uh force of that hand, whereas a new person coming in will fold, will bend over backwards, and that worries me more than um keeping the current leadership and finding a way to correct from within that.
So you think CB Cebulski is doing like a Hodor hold the door situation right now?
Maybe.
I always felt like that was racist. That
Hodor?
hody do shit.
Hodor?
Yeah.
How?
Because hody do is something that I've heard before, but it was like making fun of a
Oh,
black person.
like minstrelly. Yeah. Like didn't like there's other
Oh,
terms for people say. I didn't think racism existed in the world of Game of Thrones.
Sorry, Dan Trudeau. I did not mean to call you insufferable. I was on a roll and I was reading your name. I meant Dan Didio. I think Dan Trudeau is amazing. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like the problems at Marvel are systemic in a way that goes beyond the editors.
Sure.
Whether you're talking about Tom, whether you're talking about CB, whoever you're talking about, I think the problem is bigger than them. I think Dan Buckley said, I am now signing off on books for 10 issues at a time. When I read that, even as I sit here now, I think that that permission or lack thereof is coming from someone higher than him. I don't think even getting rid of Dan Buckley would solve the problem.
Is the man with the hat?
I don't even know that I think it's him. I don't know who I think it is, to be honest.
It's Mickey
It's just
Mouse.
it's Mickey. Yeah, it is
Mickey Mouse.
It could have been Gabriel in the sense that David Gabriel could have been the person with the checkbook saying, "Look, this book has to go because it's not making us enough money, and we got to cut it." That's what I most likely believe.
So, do you think Gabriel being let go could be a boon?
That's the
It's
case.
very possible. I think my opinion is, and this is not in any way saying I want this to have happened. David Gabriel is a great guy. My opinion is, of all of the people that work at Marvel whose names we know,
Yeah.
if you asked me which one do I think has the most impact on what we see and whose release would change things the most, I would say David Gabriel. I would have said David Gabriel.
Okay. Interesting.
Now it's a waiting game as to like what kind of comes from that.
Yeah. Wait and see. And hopefully what we're going to see is a Marvel return to form. It's not even it's beyond fandom for me. It's what we need as an industry. A thriving DC and Marvel is better for every creator, whether you're Jonathan Hickman or Casey Allen.
I would agree. I mean, it gets butts into the store at the comic shop, and then that's where you browse and you go, oh, here's a book called Bigfoot Knows Karate. It's not like the other books, but it looks cool and the name is rad. Yeah, like Cebulski's been there for 10 years. Um, he was EIC for 10 years. 2017 or 9 years. Math.
As editor-in-chief.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I'll never get hired at Marvel. So here's what I'm gonna say. Like something needs to happen.
Yeah.
And I think the editorial has too heavy of a hand right now. But
If the ingredients in the meal that you're cooking make the meal taste like shit, it's time to change the ingredients a bit.
Something is off.
Yeah. It's like
Something
that.
is off.
It's like that perpetual stew that guy on TikTok is making. Have you seen this guy? He's got a stew going for over
yes.
300 days, and it warms up the entire time, and he adds different ingredients to it. And one time he put in a bottle of wine to spice it up, and it ruined it for like a month. So if the ingredients are shit that you're putting into this perpetual stew that is Marvel Comics, you need to figure out which ingredients would be better, and that means sometimes replacing those ingredients.
It sounds like a good way to get diarrhea.
Oh, 100%. You got to look at this guy's stew. It's just, he just added baby corns to it recently, which apparently changed the concept.
My diarrhea was green while One World Under Doom was coming out.
Okay, no joke. Do not get the Dr. Doom Oreos because it will turn it green. I have done the experiment. The pals have been up to date on my experimentation on it. I can definitively say the Marvel Oreos do things.
Oh man, what a morning, guys. What a morning. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Casey is gonna hang out with us. He's gonna hang out with us all day. Casey's a good brother, good friend of ours, and one of the men behind Bigfoot Knows Karate. I want to talk a little bit about that here in just a moment. Mr. Alkebulan says, I disagree just based off how they treat their staff. Image got the idea of the model right, but it also has problems. Do we feel that Marvel mistreats its staff?
I
don't
know enough info to say one or the other. We have info to know they maybe don't pay as well. But I don't think you could compare them to Image because Image is the way the contracts work is wildly different. The models are different.
Look, we've heard complaints about Marvel. There's no doubt about it. But I think the ones that I have heard, at least, are pay related. Even Heather Antos, not that she has some axe to grind, but when she came on the show, she said that her pay was ass. But she never said the job sucked.
Yeah, like the people involved were antagonistic.
I mean, you can go on Disney's recruiting page right now and find jobs that are based in New York City that do not pay a livable wage.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's not a unique to Marvel problem.
Oh, no.
It's certainly one you can complain about, but it's not unique to Marvel. So as far as I'm aware, they don't treat their staff poorly. There are systemic issues in comics that you could point to. But that's another thing, though. It's like Marvel is staffed by people that are good people.
Yeah,
it's not like you. That's why I don't understand how you could really develop an antagonistic relationship as a fan, because they're good people.
That doesn't mean anything to me as a fan, Sean. It's about what I get out of it.
Have you met the internet?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've had a run-in or two. Chris Covers Comics says we got to hit the GOAT game. I agree. We're 7 out of 10 towards our goal, so let's do that. And you know what? We actually owe just a couple today so far of wheel spins.
Oh,
So let's get one of those in,
I'll do
shall
one
we?
right now. What do we got?
I'm thirsty as fuck.
Well, yeah, you're gonna stay thirsty. It just went back to water. Okay, you could drink. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not even lying about that. I probably should have it on camera, but I'm running out of desk
Woo.
space, guys. Ever since I
Taking a
started buying
sip.
physical comics again, I've left them all on my desk, and now I'm cluttered. And now I remember why I stopped buying these.
I hate the clutter. I hate that.
Yeah, you just throw it in your lobby or you cut it up. I'm not doing that.
One or two options. One of which somehow makes more clutter, though.
The cutting of them up? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is Marvel Street Level month around these parts. That's how we're handling April. And we put up a poll with the 4 books over on patreon.com/thecomics that you all voted for or nominated, excuse me. And boy, oh boy, did we have a fucking war
Yeah, dude.
in that poll between Hawkeye and the other one was Iron Fist, yeah?
Immortal Iron Fist,
Yeah.
yeah. It was a fraction off.
Fraction off. A fraction off. And Hawkeye won by less than a fraction. So we will be reading Hawkeye. Unfortunately, we are giving you some pretty fucking late notice. It's on the 27th. And that's just due to the fact that it was a fucking tie.
Yeah, we had to wait for
Yeah.
it to shift.
But yeah, we are doing it on the 27th. It's not that long of a run. I think it's like
22
22.
issues?
22. So we're gonna do the whole shebang bang.
Yep.
I've started my read. Spoiler alert, it's fucking great.
Yeah.
It was
One
ahead.
of the few books I ever got graded was my Hawkeye #1, which is 9.8.
Oh.
Wow. Shit.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
9.1?
9.8, and I read it. So I
Whoa.
had clean hands
Back then.
back then. Now,
Forget about it.
blood on them.
Grime. I'm excited to talk about it. My first time reading it, and I have
Really?
thoughts.
Casey, have you read this?
I have. It's fantastic. I
Yeah.
enjoyed. There were so many things. Is it Aha? How do you pronounce his
David
last
Aha,
name?
yeah.
Is it Aha? Is it Aja?
I don't know. David A.
However
Okay,
you might
I'll figure
pronounce.
that out. I'll figure that out.
Like Fraction's fantastic writer. As a team, it's everybody is just batting 1,000. It's fantastic.
So we are going to be reading Hawkeye. Make sure you guys get your reread in or your first read in. And I'm excited for those of you who are reading this for the first time, just like Marco, because boy, oh boy, I think there's a lot there for you. And I forgot how good this run is. Like, I mean, I know it's good, but like I forgot the way it feels to read it and the way it
Yeah.
feels to look at it. Wow, what an era.
I think it has the best car chase scene in a comic of all time.
Oh, yeah.
There's like an issue. There's an issue
Yeah,
for it. I don't remember
yes.
which issue it is, but
Yeah.
it is
It was
possibly
rad.
the greatest car chase scene.
Yep.
It's funny. No, I don't. We'll talk about it because I have some stuff I want to talk about this book outside of the book itself. So we'll talk about it for the book club.
Atomic Hound says, guys, I don't know about others, but super chats are not processing through here at the kennel. That's scary.
Huh?
Oh no, what's going on with that? Anybody
YouTube-
else experiencing that?
Yeah, everyone, try it out.
Yeah. Everybody just look.
Just give it a
Just
shot.
$5
Yeah.
just to see. We need to run a test right now. We need a test. You know what I figured out? I figured out that if the people here right now all just said, hey, here's $5, we'd be rich.
I don't
Rich, I tell you.
I don't know about
We'd
rich.
pay. We'd be able
What-
to pay for the equipment.
What is rich?
$5,000.
Really? What is rich? I think we're
Rich-
spiritually rich. Is what
Wait,
matters.
5,000.
We're not numbers
500.
guys, Marco. We've
Oh,
established
500.
this. We've established we're not numbers guys.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, wait a
It'll
second.
only be 500. All right, so we wouldn't be
As-
rich.
Half a stack.
As I noted earlier, all my wealth is in the garage and
That's
in bins of
Yeah, and Beanie Babies. Yeah.
Beanie
Beanie
Babies.
Babies.
Yeah, slowly moldering Beanie Babies.
Well, this is also a good time to remind you if super chats are indeed down, that our PayPal is always active.
Oh, they're not down, and Hayden fell for it. Thanks, Hayden. Test for $5.
Thank you, Hayden.
It also would
Hell
be
yeah.
Hayden to fuck with us to do that too. So
And Hayden showing off that 14 months as a VI pal. I love that. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Hayden. So what I want to do now is I want to do our final entry into the top 5 Marvel Street level characters without spider people. Number 1.
the arachnophobia list.
Yes.
I'll start.
Whoa, we just
Holy
got some
smokes.
we just got a super chat bomb from Gavin Gidry dropping $50 on us. Thank you so much, Gavin. He says, here's some DC bucks.
Whoa.
DC paying damn good. Mr. Two Switch dropping some bread on your boys.
Two switch 2, I believe.
Two Switch 2.
Two switch 2.
The Kevin Gates of the comic book industry.
I got 2.
2 falls. He don't have 2 falls. He got 2 switch 2. My man Gavin, thank you, brother. There you go. Drop that bomb. There you go. And then Samuel Summers with the 5 spot, getting us over the hump. We're playing the GOAT game today. No, we're playing the woke game today. How about that? Do we
worst
agree?
of all
Do we
time.
want that?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Hell yeah. Vitriol says DC equals dropping cash. Let's fucking go. How do I get on the DC payroll, huh? Ted H with the 80. Hong Kong?
What does Hong Kong got there? Are they called Fooies?
Wow.
Fooies?
Wow.
Yeah, that's Marco won't get that one. That's thanks Casey got it. Appreciate it.
I was doing 2 switch 2 and it gave me how to switch 2 lights.
You like Googling it, or were you chat GPTing it? What do you do?
I was
Marco?
Googling it. 2 switch 2.
Yeah. TS. Okay. All right, Sean, keep us going.
Yes, thank you. All the pauses during this live stream keep making me wonder if my VPN died again and again. I can feel your frustration with Marvel. So here's $10 worth to cheer you up. Thanks, Ted. Sorry for the pauses. I think we're tired this morning.
No, I guess YouTube might be having issues across the board. If people have been, I don't know.
Could be. You know what I realized though? Wait, no. I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. Let's stay focused. Top 5, number 1. Marco, go for it.
My number 1 is Jessica Jones.
Simp.
Of what not wrong. Of of what I've read of her now, mostly in Alias, that was just next level craft. The art, the character, the just overall, I think was a standout in what street levels could be, how they could be expressed. I was floored by just like how much I enjoyed it, how much fun I had, and how impactful it felt. So yeah, my number 1 off that experience alone.
Mine is no surprise to anyone. It's the only character I have tattooed on my skin, and that's Matthew Murdock, Daredevil. I always joke about how what always, as somebody who grew up Irish Catholic, Daredevil resonated for me. But that's true. Like I'm not a religious person, but religious imagery is very prevalent in my life. I grew up, going to church every week because I went to a Catholic school. So whenever Daredevil's in a church and the light shines through a stained glass window of the person the God that created him suffering for his sins. It's like, yeah, I get it. I get why he does what he does. And I also just find the Matthew Murdock dynamic with Daredevil to be just super compelling. Lawyer by day, hero by night, trying to fill the gaps of the justice system, lets people slip through. And I think, and also Daredevil, one of the few Marvel characters that Marvel just lets fuck. You know what I mean? Like they let him do his thing, and I appreciate that. Even though if he on the TV show last week he did admit to being a foot fetishist, which I thought was a very weird thing to put into the show. Um, it's one of the few guys that Marvel let's evolve and be a little more grittier, a little more adult, and I appreciate that.
I think that we need to have Tarantino direct the next
Oh no.
I would watch the
season of
fuck out of
Daredevil.
that.
What Tarantino actor plays Matt Murdock?
Oh Lord.
Is it Brad Pitt? Do they just go? Is he just go for it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Leo. Leonardo DiCaprio is Daredevil. Come on.
Let's make Ving Rhames Kingpin.
Isn't he dead?
I mean,
No,
I always think Ving Rhames is dead. I don't know why.
you're getting Michael Clark Duncan mixed up.
yes, because
Yeah,
they're both
yeah.
massive dudes who
Yeah.
have kind of the same demeanor.
And I'm just glad I'm not the one who mixed his black dudes up. So
Oh, that's okay, bro.
I've done
I
it on the
love
show
them
before.
both. I love them both. And I'm tired, boss. That's really what it comes down to for me. I'm tired but actually there is some synergy here because number one on my list has been played by Michael Clark Duncan. Because number one on
Really?
my list is the Kingpin.
Really, number one.
Number one. Kingpin is my favorite street level character at Marvel because it feels like it all comes from him. Like he's the central figure and representation of criminality in Marvel's New York City. More than any other character, the Kingpin of crime has his fingers on it. Every character who was in our top 5 has dealt with the Kingpin at some point, has had a run-in with that character. And he has made their life hell for some amount of time, assuredly. Whether it's Punisher, whether it's Daredevil, Spider-Man's not on our list, but he come on. But I love that the Kingpin is as ruthless as he is powerful, as he is passionate. He's a passionate man. He deeply loves his on again, off again wife. He loves Typhoid Mary when they're together. And I appreciate that about him. He's been through a lot as a person, and now that he can have everything, he wants to take everything. And nothing will stand in his way, except every street level hero in Marvel.
Yeah.
He's the Thanos of street level, and that's why Kingpin is my number one. Whoa, Vitriol said the same shit I said. Oh my God.
It's funny. I don't know if you guys think about this. Whenever I think of Kingpin, I think of marshmallows. The 90s Spider-Man used to have a cereal, and it had Kingpin marshmallows in it. And I remember that taste because it was a little different than Lucky Charms in terms of the marshmallow taste, but I remember it so vividly. And I put Kingpin and marshmallow in my head.
Kingpin and marshmallow. Okay.
Because you can eat a Kingpin marshmallow. You could probably buy a box and eat. Actually, Casey might have a box of it in its garage.
Yeah. Several actually. They're yeah.
Casey, you might think this is funny. Someone in the chat said, "Oh, Kale's back."
Wow.
Yeah, the Spider-Man cereal is next to my Ghostbusters Ecto Coolers.
Oh, nice.
Man, bring that back, and I would be happy, dude. I'd be so happy. That was
Casey.
Yes,
what do you have like a maybe not a top 5, but do you at least have a favorite Marvel street level character that's not a spider person?
As far as street level, okay, here is where I'm at with street level. When I was a kid, the first comic I got into, I would read with my dad, Daredevil, and it was during the it was during the what's his name, the big run in the 80s.
Miller.
Yeah, Miller.
Okay.
It was during Frank Miller's run, and I didn't know it was special at the time. I just thought they were all, every single Daredevil comic was going to be that good. But holy smokes, man! Starting there, wow. I mean, yeah. So I've always had a I've always really loved the Daredevil comics. And also just seeing how different creators kind of buck up against uh the what he's gone through, because he has a really solid through line, and it's not as convoluted as, say, like Spider-Man's, where like the whole clone era and everything, I dropped off hard during the 90s because of that. And but Daredevil, it seems like it's
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, the crazy shit happens, but it seems like it's a little bit cleaner in terms of like canon and story arc and stuff.
Even based on creative team, I think it's a cleaner line to be able to say like, oh, after Miller, it was this, it was this, it was them, it was, there are bigger
Absolutely, and
names
it's
throughout that.
constantly overlooked, I think, but by like on the from like non-comic folks.
Sure.
Casey, would you consider Bigfoot to be street level? I mean, he does do karate after all.
Bigfoot is woods level, baby. He
Hell
is.
yeah.
He's deep up in the woods. Um, yeah, yeah, and there's just one Bigfoot. So any sighting people have had, it's the same guy.
There is only one, and according to you, he is a god killer.
Absolutely, he is.
The Bigfoot Knows Karate God Killer Kickstarter is going to be it's going to be fantastic. Now that starts May 6th, right?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. May 6th. So we have a an ongoing comic called Bigfoot Knows Karate, and a few years ago I did um Bigfoot Knows Karate Hinagon, which was a it's a one shot that I did, where I just kind of uh do a story outside of the main storyline, and God Killer is part of that. Um, where it's just a one shot story, and um, in this one he is going to make a deal with the Norse gods and ends up in a fight for his life. So um, it's a whole lot of fun. We have some really good folks working on it, and I wrote it. So if you like how I write or like me, please tell me with. I'm joking.
Please tell me.
Yeah.
Well, I'll
But
tell
yeah,
you.
yeah, we've had a lot of fun. It's I can't wait for you guys to see it. Um, and there's going to be little ways that it ties into the ongoing series. And the thing about this Bigfoot character is the ongoing series is in a certain space and time, but there's so much that we have planned for him in regards to where he's been, what he's done. I mean, think about who you were when you were a teenager. You were a different person, right? Um, Maybe you're into comics, maybe you weren't, but you go through different phases in life, and this is it's the same with Benny, our Bigfoot character. So yeah, it's a whole lot of action, a whole lot of there's a little bit of a mystery in this issue, and man, I wanted to do I wanted to make sure that there was a whole lot of slobber knocking and yeah, just a whole lot of bing bang and boom, and just a fun story to go with it.
I've read a fair amount of this Bigfoot Knows Karate material, and it is fucking fun, dude. I really,
I
really
appreciate
have,
that.
yeah, I have a blast with it. I didn't expect, like, I didn't know what to expect. I've seen Bigfoot as a creature, like a cryptid creature and one who just stalks the forest. I never really considered what his personality would be like. I never considered, any of those kinds of things. And this book is actually making Bigfoot into character, which is a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. He kind of has the soul of a poet, and this big exterior, and he has to kick a lot of ass because a lot of stuff comes his way. But I really wanted, the fun thing is subverting expectations. The name is so ridiculous. Bigfoot Knows Karate sounds like it's just the dumbest name possible. And when when I was told the name, my co-writer Dan Price, we were putting the thing together, and he was like, "What do you think about Bigfoot Knows Karate?" And I was like, "Oh, that's the dumbest thing ever. Let's run with it. That's awesome." Um, you're expecting, a Bigfoot does karate story, and you're gonna get it, but also we want to make it, hey, I want to make it fun for me. I want to do something that I want to read. I want to write something I want to read. Um, and yeah, so we're trying to give you the best bang for your buck, and give just a story that you're going to enjoy, and that's going to satisfy. At the it's going to be 5 issues of the main series, and this one shot is a good way to go like, do I want to check out this main series, because it's going to be a self-contained story in and of itself. So
Now, how can people get the initial Bigfoot Knows Karate book?
okay, so we have a website, bigfootknowskarate.com. You can order it there, or you could go to Homebrewed Comics and order it there. You can also talk to your comic shop, um, and they can order it. We have a distributor, and they could get it there. So far, we have issues 1 and 2, and the first one shot. I think that comes out soon. But yeah, yeah. So either way, bigfootknowskarate.com will get you where you need to go.
Oh yeah, I love that. And you guys are going to see more of Casey around here. You guys have probably noticed, we've talked about it before, that we like to have, a rotation of guests, friends of ours that we like who come on here and contribute. And Casey is someone who we like a lot. So you'll definitely be seeing more of Casey on the channel. And I think everybody should pick up Bigfoot Knows Karate God Killer. May 6th is when the Kickstarter goes live. What you see is what you get, and you're going to get more than what you see. You're going to get Bigfoot doing some killer karate and kicking ass. But you're also going to get a book with heart and soul. It's a lot of fun. Casey has chops. He knows what he's doing with the pen in his hand. And also has a lot more experience than you might think of, because Casey is also a contributor and one of the creators and one of the editors behind the Comic Jam, which is, for those of you who are a part of our community, you'll know that on our Discord server, we've got like the writer artist workshop stuff that we've been doing. The Comic Jam is that idea, but way more robust.
Yeah.
And actually puts writers and artists together to make comics. It's a beautiful thing.
It's super fun. If you guys are curious about that, if you want to contact me, I'm on the Discord. We have a Comic Jam Discord. I can get you guys a link to that. We're also on Instagram at the Comic Jam _alt, because somebody's a dumbass and forgot the like
Somebody.
to log into the old account. That person is me. I'm the dumbass. And so yeah, check out the Comic Jam. We do one page. So here's the deal. Comics, man, that's a lot of work, and it's fun, but maybe you don't know if you want to try it, right? So what we do is we go, hey, writers, or we need you to write a one-page story based on this. And then we pair that one-page script, 6 panels total, with an artist. And if you like doing it, well, guess what? You've written a comic and it's been posted on the internet. If you hated it, well, like, oh, this sucked. I don't ever want to do this again. But at least and you're not as a new writer, especially. We get a lot of people, and even me. At one point, I was like, "This is the story I want to write." It's only 36 issues,
Yep.
40 pages each, and I just need an artist to do this for me. Well, guess what? You're going to pay a ton of money, and also you're going to realize how hard it is to write 40 fucking issues of comics. Where, for your first one, man, just do it. Try your hand at writing one page. Um, it's a lot more difficult than you think. You have to learn how to cut the fat. You have to learn how to, um, how to get your actions in one panel down to something that an artist can actually put into the page. So yeah, and also just the act of collaborating. You guys collaborate every week when you do this. I'm listening to you guys while I'm at work. And I hear you guys bounce back and forth, and that flow state when you guys are goofing off and having a good time, it's it's almost the same as when you collaborate on comic. There's such an awesome feeling of this this product that I'm doing is so much greater than the input that I've done, the input the other guy did, and the input the other guy did. It it's such an amazing feeling. So yeah, I would, by all means, if you guys are interested, hit me up and we'll get you started at the Comic Jam.
Yeah. Just to double down on that stuff, I've done a few. This was couple years ago at this point, but I've done a few stories with the team,
It was
and yeah,
great too.
for as a creative exercise, the everything Casey's saying is true. You know, a lot of first time writers have these grandiose have this grandiose kind of like thing in their mind, but forget the fundamentals that are needed, the basics that are needed to really master. And this is a great way to do it. 6 panels, 1 page. Can you be can you be cohesive? Can you be clear? Can you be concise? And it does you all the good in the world, especially for if you have the aspiration for this grand epic you want to be able to tell, or you just want to be able to tell like a simple couple pages, or even just a short story. This is the practice that needs to go into it.
Exactly. I almost wish we would have named ourselves the Comics Gym because it's essentially what we're doing. We're working out those muscles, and that's what needs to happen. Like you gotta know how the fundamentals before you go on to do something larger.
And it's great because the artists are also coming in from the other side. If you're a writer, you know what you need to work on. The artists themselves also know what they need to work on. So you're both coming together to be like, these are the things that we need to fix or correct to just be better at the craft. And this is very much the way to do it. So highly, highly recommend. Great artists. Shout out to Letter Squids who came out of the comic jam as well. So there's a lot of good creators
Matsumo.
that have, yeah, Matsumo, that's right. Yeah, it's just the born from this stuff. This is the way to hone your skills.
Yeah.
I have been meaning to join for years,
Love for you too.
It's right down your alley.
and I just did. I just finally did.
Nice, nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And also, if I may, just like with you guys, because I see I'm reading the comments on this live stream right now. You guys have the best people watching you guys on a weekly basis. Like, and I've seen Sean call people out if they're ugly or whatever in the thing, which is great. I love that. I love when Sean's like, "Hey, this shit doesn't fly." Um, uh, you as a whole, like some of the best folks. And that follows suit in the comic jam as well. There's such a sense of community, and everybody is everybody's biggest fan. Like I don't,
Mm.
as soon as somebody's in there being ugly or like whatever, like I try to kind of do my due diligence before I let anyone in, to see if they're jerks or whatever. Because we have people from all stripes. We have people from, we have moms, we have, people that are learning how to do comics. We have like people figuring out who they are. And then we have like old cranky assholes like myself. I want everybody to be nice and respectful, and we get that. And just like I would love to give everyone just a hug because honestly, some of the nicest people. Like I would 100% yeah, just like to tell them that personally.
Hey,
There are
Marco, you
over
put
there are over 120 people here with us, and I'm telling you right now, Casey, I would not hug all of them. Some of these people need some things to happen before I'm willing to put my hands on them in any way.
some of these people put way too much ketchup on their food too, so
That's true.
yeah.
I'm looking at these names right now, just the ones I can see. The only person I know for sure I would touch is Gavin. Oh, and Atomic Hound. I would touch Atomic Hound.
You have touched
Comic
Gavin.
Con seems like a good
Yes,
dude.
I've touched Gavin. I like touching Gavin.
Frequently.
Let that one marinate
Sit
for
a
a
little,
bit.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
Let
yeah.
it. The last thing to say just on the comic jam is, um, the schedule aspect of it. I love how organized you guys are. Somebody whose
Mm.
brain
Ooh,
works off
man.
of that. Um, there is a current theme, due date, uh, and it's meant to help replicate, obviously the creative process. You have to keep yourself to a schedule if you're looking to output something, and this is another way to just get into that groove.
All right. We've got more show to do. Casey's gonna rock with us for the rest of this, and let's get through it, shall we? Um, Jim Lee Watch. Jim Lee Watch is on, maybe for the last time though, because Mr. Lee has made an announcement regarding Hush 2, aka Batman 163, that I think will put to bed this Jim Lee Watch thing. Quote, lots of big personal and professional updates soon, but first, I wanted to wait until I had firm news on Hush 2. The final issue of the second arc, Batman number 163, finally ships Wednesday, May 27th. I've got 2 pages left with Scott and Alex right behind me. I've been reluctant to share personal health matters publicly, but I also wanted to let you know why these last 2 issues have taken so inordinately long. Last summer, I was diagnosed pre-diabetic, the result of decades of poor decisions and work habits, way too little sleep, way too much stress, and way too many late-night carbs under deadline. Meds were not an option for me, so I've had to rebuild through diet, exercise, and sleep. Metformin literally felt like I was disrupting my brain and poisoning my body. It's been much more challenging and frustrating to correct it using diet and exercise, but necessary. Now, Jim goes on to talk about how uh his traditional schedule is not great for him and how he's been breaking down as a result. He's been depressed because of his health struggles, um frustrated that he hasn't been able to deliver Hush to timely or at the quality that he expects from himself, how it's unfair to the retailers and readers, and that in the future there won't be any more Jim Lee projects that are solicited until they are done.
Mm.
Yeah.
And he did attach a very nice, for what it's worth, very cool sketch image from Batman 163 that features Batman and Jason Todd.
Pencils on this.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah. I mean, it's a shame to hear that, he's going through something but he's catching it early, which I think means it's preventative. It just means adjusting to a new lifestyle. And I think recognizing that there's a new priority in his life from us, the fans, means that we're going to need to wait a bit more for Jim Lee art. Hey man, that's what has to happen. Um, he says he's lost 10 pounds. He's making sure that this stuff it's an ongoing issue. So good on him. He's making changes. He's making the necessary changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I as one thing a lot of people, it's easy to overlook. Comic artists are on like any job where you're on your ass for hours at a time. Man, that hurts your body so much. I work in a lab, and I'm
Okay.
at I'm laser welding on a microscopic scale, and I make myself get up
Mm.
because like every hour on the hour, I make myself get up, get some water, walk, do something. And when I'm on my lunch break, we have a gym down the hall, and I hit that gym because man, it just being on your butt hurts your body so bad. One of the artists that I've worked for on another book, um, he his spine he in addition to doing comic art, he also worked in marketing. So he was at his computer for, like 16 hours a day, 18 hours a day, something crazy like that. And his spine literally got eaten up, and they had to
Yeah.
fuse his piece of his spine together.
The,
Um, yeah, it's awful.
the human body's not meant to sit down like that, especially be hunched over for artists like that. It's just not built that way. And I know it just seems like, oh, it's not, you're not on an oil rig. What are you complaining about? It can still happen in jobs that maybe aren't physically taxing visibly that you see. Think of all the mangakas in Japan that, slave away for days on days on days on days, and their bodies
Yeah.
deteriorate because of it. And if Jim's in a place where he can catch that before it becomes a problem and address that, and even if that means his work has to take a back seat, fuck it. That's what matters. Jim Lee is even without Jim Lee, like active Jim Lee art coming out right now, he's too important as a person to lose that in any sort of way.
Hey, Jim Lee watch is a joke, right? We've just been doing it to have a little fun while we wait for Hush to Batman 163. And, I feel terrible for Jim that he's dealing with this pre-diabetic, the way that this was presented, like I initially thought we are gonna hear like, oh my God, Jim has months to live and he's dedicating some amount of time to that to Hush too. Like
Finishing this book.
I would say fuck the book at that point.
Jim, it's not that deep.
I still
ain't
say
even
fuck the
that
book,
good.
even if it's just pre-diabetes, like.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
So this sucks for Jim, and yeah, get that shit done. I don't think though, like I see Kurt Wildshut saying like this should be a wake-up call for the industry. Jim does this because he wants to.
Yeah.
That's not what's required to make it in comics. Jim Lee has always been like this. He likes working late. It's a part of his lifestyle. This is not reflective of what artists traditionally do. And part of it is he wants to enjoy his life. He wants to be able to like chill out during the day, do whatever he does. Plus, I'm sure he has a lot of corporate responsibilities that we don't see. So this is when he has time to draw, according to his lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's different than what, let's say, Jorge Jimenez is doing. But yeah, we know that we will finally get this book at the end of May, and then we can all stop talking about it, hopefully.
Take your time, Jim Lee. Recuperate,
Yeah, man.
rest, be better.
If you got to happily draw Gambit just to put out something while you're resting, feel free.
And then it's what happens.
Yeah. Gavin says it's important to note that taking breaks becomes way harder when you get closer to a deadline
Yep.
and the math isn't matching.
Which good to Jim Lee because he controls his own deadline. So at least he has the ability to make those adjustments. He's in a position.
Apparently
If that were
not.
anybody
Well, I
else,
mean, I guess there is a limit to the amount of pressure that can be external.
Yeah, this is crazy. They set a deadline and it blew by. We're years late on this.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's just crazy. Gavin says you have no choice but to get the work done compared to jobs where you can clock off. Yeah. Absolutely. And it's hard to like it is that's what the job is. That's what the job is. Miles Morales has not had a book in a couple of months because before we do this. No. Gotta make an announcement. Big announcement.
Big.
So we told you we're doing the book club on Monday. The reason we are doing it on Monday is because on Tuesday we have a major interview that we will be conducting. Our last interview of April, is a biggie. We've got Roots of Madness writer Stephanie Williams joining us, the other blacker half of the Stephanie sisters.
Or the Williams
I
sisters.
am no, because one is Phillips, one is Williams.
I was thinking Leia
right,
and Stephanie.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
The other white meat.
Yeah. We got one, now we're getting the other. It's exciting to talk to Stephanie. Can't wait. Tuesday, 6 p.m.
Yeah, and check out Roots of Madness if you can at your LCS. Before that, because we're definitely going to talk about it, so it should be good.
Pumped.
Maybe talk a little Vixen with her too, if she wants to talk about that some more. I'm sure people want to hear more about what she wants to do with that character.
And then also, I've realized that we have not given out any gifted memberships this month. None.
We're a little busy.
It's because we haven't had any gifted memberships given.
To us.
You guys give, we give. That's how it traditionally works. But I don't want these to go to waste.
Yeah.
So let's just do it right now. Boom. I click the button. Let's see what 5 people we're going to make channel members today.
It's loaded. Oh, Near, Ajamudu, Noel Martin, Ryan Joestar, and Pickaxe.
I think it's Arian Joestar, which okay.
Oh.
Oh, congratulations.
Sorry.
And we'll give out the rest because we've got 5 more. We'll give those out later. So hang around if you want to win a gifted membership. It's very possible that you could, but it won't happen right now. Now let's talk about Miles Morales. New creative team, really exciting. Brian Edward Hill is the writer on Miles with Nico Leon on art. That's fucking nuts. Here's the solicit. Miles is back in black and red. Spider-Man thinks he has it all handled. Homework, supervillains, a new school crush? No. Miles is focused on what matters, helping the good folks of Brooklyn. Spider-Man at his best, but a vengeful villain from Jeff Morales' past with S.H.I.E.L.D. threatens to destroy not only Spider-Man, but the entire Morales family. Okay.
I'm down for this. I like Brian Hill. We were talking about like now the Ultimates books are done, right? Where do those people go? And I think after, Ultimate Black Panther is now done, this is a great book for Hill to be on. And I'm happy they're not letting Miles not have a book for too long, because that always worries me. But yeah, this is good. And Nico Leone, who did Psylocke Ninja most recently, but I remember Nico's art, strangely, the Marvel Rivals digital comics, which I still thought were pretty good. It's pretty clean, just, classic comic book art. So yeah, I think this is a good team. I'm definitely picking this up. The fucking what is it? Simone DeMeo on covers too.
Covers. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. This is one of those situations where I trust the creator. Brian Edward Hill is one of those, and I'm here to back his work. I'm not as familiar with Nico Leone, and I haven't followed up on the Miles Morales series, so hopefully this is one of those that um hooks me in. And I do like this new school crush, a little romance. I don't mind that in my comics.
That means he doesn't have his girlfriend anymore. The Vulture's daughter.
Yeah.
Damn. They broke up off screen.
I'm hyped. This is gonna be cool as hell, dude. Brian Hill is the man. This will be out in August 12th.
Nice.
I'm surprised it's that deep, like down away from us. Given Miles's closeness to the origin boxes, I thought they would want to have a Miles book on stands while, on the outset of Armageddon. But based on this description, it doesn't necessarily look like there's a ton of connection.
Well,
Yeah.
even then, like Miles is only really connecting to the Ultimate Impact side of the coin, right? I actually figured that Ultimate Impact would end before Miles got another title. So I was actually kind of surprised about this, because I figured Impact was like the Miles book, quote unquote, to fill the gap between volumes. But this is sooner in my eyes.
Yep. So that's coming, and it should be fun. The last piece of news. Well, actually, let's spin the wheel. We should spin the wheel. Spin a little bit.
What do we got? What do we got? What do we got?
Spin that.
Ooh. Okay. Who wants to try and guess a character?
Casey does.
Casey. All right, Casey. You have to ask.
Oh,
This is a
Lord.
Marvel
Okay.
character. You have to
All
ask me questions. It's like 20 questions, and
What you
yes
got?
or no questions, and then we'll you have to guess what the character is. All right.
Okay. All right. So I have to ask you a question.
Cool. All right. Yeah.
Guessing 10.
Okay. Is it would he be a superhero?
Yes.
Okay, so he's a good guy. All right. Street level or like
Yes or no?
oh, is he street level? Sorry.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Is he does he have a red color scheme?
Yes.
Does he have a full face mask or
Yes.
no? Yes, full face Spider-Man?
Yes.
Hell yeah!
Oh, whoa.
It's specifically Miles, which is ironic that I pulled this card.
Oh,
That's funny.
that's
Yeah. Yeah, you got it. Cool. I mean, I guess that's one of the easier ones to get to, but yeah, you got there pretty much.
I feel like I got like on easy mode, so maybe next time
That's the
maybe
draw.
next time
That's the
I'll do something.
randomization. Someone got a hard one last time. I forget what it was. Was it like Winter Soldier or something?
Something like that.
Yeah, Winter Soldier did come up. That Casey's the first of us
To
to
get it.
win that game within the 10.
Handily.
4.
I'm
It helps that Miles was on the brain, I guess. Like Spider-Man was on the brain.
in the back of my head, I was like, would they consider Spider-Man to be street level? Because I mean,
I think Miles definitely is.
yeah. And also, like, Miles should never not have an ongoing series.
Agreed.
My wife is an elementary school teacher. There's so many kids on the playground when the Spider-Verse movies came out that were Miles and that were seeing themselves reflected in a character that had agency, was badass, and it 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 means a lot, and it's going to get new readers in. You get somebody like Miles, and your readership grows with you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about the Clayface trailer, but Marco has to go.
That's right. I'm gonna take my cat to the vet. Last time it was the dog. Then a few weeks' time it will be the other cat. We're doing their annual visits and shots.
Have you ever thought about getting them on sync?
Well, because you have to do like in between. You can't do all like four or whatever at the same time or something. So I have to
Oh,
space
mine
them out.
lets me.
I don't think they're supposed
Oh, okay.
to.
I only
With
have two
that,
though, so
yes, I guess, yeah. With that, much love all. Casey, good to see you. I'll catch you guys.
He's coming.
see ya.
Take care. And we lose our boy. That's okay.
Well, Casey is now considered Marco, as if the stream is to be believed.
I am 100% behind AI. I love it. It's the best. And I haven't read a comic book before 2010.
There we
So
go. That's the best Marco impression you could do.
That's horrifying.
Mm.
Somehow, though, less horrifying by a little bit, just slightly, than the Clayface trailer that we got.
what?
Yeah. Clayface is getting a movie before Batman in the James Gunn verse. This is a Mike Flanagan written film, directed by James Watkins, who did See No Evil. Is that the Kane movie? Isn't that the Kane movie?
Yes, yes, that was yeah, like the
No.
thing that he
No, See No Evil was a Netflix movie, I think. No, you're right. That was a Kane movie. What's the guy's name?
James Watkins.
And there must be more than one See No Evil then.
Huh.
See No Evil is on Tubi.
That's
See
May
No Evil
19th,
2.
right?
Yep, May 19th. So yeah, the trailer is just a minute long, but it shows us largely, Clayface, as a person in his hospital bed has been horrifically disfigured by something. And interspersed, you're seeing flashes of him as a, before whatever incident did this to him. Clearly something went way wrong in my man's life, and it looks pretty interesting. Tyler? I know you've been excited for this. What did you think of the trailer?
I thought it was actually very good. I'm a Mike Flanagan guy. I think he does a lot of fun stuff. All the series that Flanagan's done at Netflix. I'm thinking like my favorite was Midnight Mass and like Haunting of Hill House and stuff like that.
Great.
Yeah, Midnight Mass was a lot of fun. Where like the guy has a feel to what he does, and I like that. There's an authorship to Flanagan that excites me to then put that in the lens of Gotham. All for it. And I thought this trailer looked freaky enough. James Gunn keeps talking about how like this is a horror movie. It's not a horror superhero movie. It is a horror movie. And I like how it has a no-name actor playing. It's not Basil Carlo. It's the other Clayface, Mike or something. I always forget the name of the other one.
He is playing Matt Hagen.
Matt Hagen is the other one. Yeah. Which movie actor? That's the whole gist of it. I'm into it, and I think it could be a lot of fun. This is one of the ones that could be like a sleeper for me. This distinctly feels like a horror movie as opposed to like feeling like a Sony Morbius type movie, which is what I was afraid it could feel like. But the trailer looked fun. They even do like the little the shadow play of like the classic Clayface like ball with spikes, which I'm like, you can't have Clayface if you don't do that. And I know like by the end of it, they're gonna go full monster Clayface, I think, which I'm excited for.
How about you, Casey?
You know, I I just don't. I like Flanagan. I want to see it just because of that, but I'm not gonna run to the theater to see it. It doesn't seem like something that I would. I'm looking forward to be wrong on this. Um, because I'm not a big. I hated the Joker movies. Thought they sucked. Um, the second one especially. Oh my goodness. And hopefully it's not more of that. The trailer looked good. The trailer looked creepy as hell, especially with like the plastic um guard over his face. So I want them to prove me wrong. Um, and if anybody can do it, it's going to be because Flanagan wrote a damn good script.
Um, I think the trailer is very good. Like it looks really good, and um, there's definitely something there. I I just it didn't help me get over the fact that Batman's not in this movie.
Hmm.
And I
Exactly.
just can't I don't like if this were a movie about the same premise, but it wasn't Clayface and it was just some other thing, that would be cool. But the fact that it is Clayface and it is tied into DC creates an expectation within me that Batman is going to be here, and he's not. And I don't care about this character divorced from Batman. So while I will see it, um, maybe we'll do a review of it. I don't know, but
I
I'm
forgot
not.
we
I
do
can't.
those.
Yeah, right. It's been so long. I can't say that I'm excited, but the trailer is good.
Can you not divorce it from the fact that it's just a movie?
Like, if I'm watching the movie, if the movie's good, it's good.
Yeah.
But on this side of it, when we're talking about excitement, no.
Huh.
But we'll see. It very well could be good. Did it feel like there was a Joker tease? Not that I think he'll be in the movie, but there was a scene with some like clown stuff in the background that was flashing green.
I feel like that's just them,
Fan service.
flavoring up Gotham. You know, because this will be our first intro to what DCU's Gotham will be, and I think that's also kind of a big deal. Even though this James Gunn says this is the first DC Studios movie to be before Superman in terms of chronologically,
Yep.
because we did see a Clayface in Howling Commandos, who was kind of a chud, um, which is apparently the same character. I don't know how he gets there, but we'll see.
This movie has been in the works for a while, correct? Like it probably
Oh,
predates Gunn's leadership.
I don't think so. No, I think this was one of the ones I think this one actually came about pretty quickly from what I remember.
Yeah, I don't know where the gun involvement begins in relationship to when this movie was like being worked on, but I feel like I started hearing about it in the James Gunn era.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
mean, it said he pitched it in 2023. Uh, um,
Hmm.
Flanagan. So
That's a quick turnaround time. Well, at least in terms of like superhero movies are to be considered.
yeah, that's wild. That's
and it's a horror movie. They're cheaper to
Yeah.
make. I think they can be made probably like turned around faster. So 3 years from pitch, okay.
Doesn't Clayface kind of have like a classic slasher movie villain name to it? You know, like you got
oh,
your
absolutely.
ghost face, leather face. Why not just add another Clayface into it? So like, I think that also helps to add to like, oh, this is a horror movie type thing.
I think that like of all the DC characters, Clayface probably lends himself best to that feel.
Yeah.
Like a slasher horror, but I like the fact that he's empowered.
Mm.
Like he's not just a dude running around with a knife. Clayface, and I think that's part of it too, is like, if like without Batman, what could even be what could even be the antagonistic part of this? Because like, who can deal with this?
Just cops, you know,
They can't deal with this.
not well,
That's what I'm
but
saying.
yeah.
That's the point I'm making. I don't see how they can create a threat or a tension when Clayface is this powerful. Like, Jason is not the main character in those movies. He's just the killer in those movies.
Yeah.
Clayface is the main character in this movie. Or at least that's how it appears.
Yeah. Again, it was a short teaser trailer too, so we don't really gather anything about plot.
It looks like it's about he was assaulted, somebody hurt him badly, and he's going out for revenge. That's what it looks like. But yeah, so that's Clayface. What do you guys think? Let me see the chat.
I think I'm excited for if this does well to get more horror villain books. So we can get a Professor Pig movie that's in the vein of Saw. What else? What else would work in this? I feel like there's a couple of Gotham characters you could do, like a Killer
Oh,
Croc,
absolutely.
kind of monster movie.
Scarecrow.
Ooh, Scarecrow. Yeah, let's screw
I mean,
Batman. We don't need Batman movies anymore. Let's just do his villains instead.
there is a way where this could work, and you could eventually tie it in, but that would mean that they would have to get their duckies in a row and plan something much larger. I don't know if they want to do that, but like, do you think people are gonna just? Do you think that Clayface has enough clout that people everybody knows who
No.
Joker is?
Yeah.
Who knows? Who the fuck knows who Clayface is? Other than kids watching the animated series when they were
Yeah.
kids. Or, um, I want to see stuff like this be successful, and I hope it is. Um, but I don't know if I don't know if it has the clout to do so.
Yeah.
It's really gonna have to be oh, I was shocked because this movie actually ruled, and people are gonna have to start talking about it, and that's what's going to change the tide on it. I don't think that it's going to naturally get people in those seats, and you need to get butts in seats.
Yeah, I think it actually has a decent chance of doing well, just because like I have to imagine that as a horror movie, the expectations are not as high. And if you like horror movies, then other than the DC connection, which isn't really prevalent in the, what we just saw, um, this is just a regular horror movie for you.
Yeah.
And if it is a regular horror movie for you and it happens to be a good one, people who show up for horror will probably show up for this. I would imagine.
Yeah, and those are the movies
I
that are
could see
they
that.
quickly get sequels too.
Yeah.
Dan Trudeau drops 5 on us and says, I do like that this is the result of guns. Show me a good script and get the green light approach to the DCU, not beholden to a predetermined schedule.
I agree with that.
It's hard to, I mean, yes, that is the case. Whether or not that will be effective remains to be seen. We'll see. But we owe a couple of wheel spins before we can play the woke game.
All right, what do we got? Highlight a book. You got a book you want to highlight, either of you?
Casey, talk to us about what you're reading these days.
What am I reading? The last thing I read as a series was the Under the Trees Where Nobody Sees. I really enjoyed that.
Ooh.
My wife, who is not a comics reader, and will not read my comics at all. Like she reads them, but she doesn't give a shit. Um, it's just something I do when when the kids go to bed.
Yeah.
But I gave her the first issue of that book, and she was just like, "Okay, I will now require you to get me every single one of them." So
Wow.
we enjoyed that series. What else? I've really enjoyed Absolute Batman. Um, and I don't know, man. I'm an old jerk, and I like going back. Now that I'm an adult, I can go back and read all the stuff that I did not have the money for slash did not have the ability to get when I was a kid. Um, so I'm going back and reading old Vertigo titles. So
Hell yeah, dude. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees is probably the biggest surprise, other than Dork for me in the last couple of years. Have you read the sequel by chance?
oh yeah. Yes, absolutely enjoyed
It's
that.
nuts. Yeah.
Um, and I really I want to see more from that guy. I think he's a screenwriter, like as a like that's his like main gig.
We had Patrick
So
on the show. Does he? He does a lot, but
I don't
yeah,
know what he does outside of comics,
yeah,
actually,
I don't know if we got to that.
but that's
but
interesting.
we need people like him because I mean that was such a it, it's so well done.
Breath of fresh air, for real.
I am stoked. I think there's a new Concrete coming out soon,
Ooh.
and
Yes.
it's such I'm sure it's not got a huge following now, but reading Concrete when I was a kid, I loved. So I'm glad that Paul Chadwick's put stuff out.
Hell yeah. Um, let's spin the wheel one more time. Give the people what they want.
Already did, and you could finally drink, Sean.
Yeah.
Give Sean what he wants.
And everybody else too, hydrate, guys. Gals, pals, everybody in between, make sure you hydrate.
My iced coffee is just ice now, so I'm just drinking sugary water.
Pop those ice cubes in your mouth.
Whoa, pause. Hey,
Oh
What
shit.
have I been breaking the rules by just like guzzling my coffee the whole time?
Yep.
I
I'll allow
apologize.
it. I'll allow it.
You sure were, but that's okay. You're the guest. You can cheat. I though don't want to cheat you guys out of the rest of the shout outs that we owe. Thank you, thank you, thank you for making this show possible every week. And I want to say particular thank you to Amin the Almighty Perez, Houston the Century Kid Murphy, Young Dende, Faith Fighter DeWoody, Cosmic November, Carter the Owl Shogunate, Steve Swarm Canara, Scripture, the Wardens of the Word, Jack of Some Trades, Cloutier, Emperor MD Johnny, Mad Max Pliskin, Lieutenant Earl Wagnus, the Death Dealer, Jack Grimstone Grimmy, Eli the Mothman. Your origin is coming. I'm very excited about that one. You can expect to hear that next week on the show. Patrick Zay, Captain Chris, Ray Lytle, Superjob, Integray, Ash the Golem, and joining us for the first time today, is Anonymous. Anonymous, thank you.
Uh,
Reveal yourself now.
Is that what they go by? That they signed up with that?
Yeah.
Huh.
Reveal yourself now, Anonymous. I would like to properly celebrate you. But short of that, thank you. Thank you so much for the support. You guys are fantastic. Let's play the woke game. You guys got us there like you do every week, -1. So let's do that. And then also I want to give away these memberships. So I'm gonna give away the memberships after the game. So
Okay.
stick around. Once we play the woke game, we'll give away the memberships.
All right. So who's it going to be? Marco's in this list too. We'll just cut him out if he gets picked. And it just goes to Marco. It literally just
That's
shows just Marco.
hilarious, dude.
That is funny.
Oh, I wish.
Missed out on some peak there. All right. It is gonna be just Marco again. How is that?
Are you kidding me, man?
I'm doing it again.
What a troll this freaking game
Okay, well,
is.
no, now it's a real troll because it's Marco and Casey, which means it's just Casey, which has never happened before.
Okay,
I'm
Casey,
ready.
you ready?
I'm ready to crash and burn. Let's do this.
All
You
right.
have to tell me why the character I'm about to pick is the worst character of all time.
Oh Lord. Okay. All right.
And it is scrolling through, I think, 300 plus characters.
Oof.
And it's Danger of the X-Men. Let's see what your improv skills are like.
You know what I don't like about Danger?
Sean's starting it. Go ahead.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah,
Hold
what
on.
I don't like about Danger. Danger is, I mean, who is Danger? Does anybody know who Danger is? Does Danger have any solubility, any penetration into what other people know? No, they don't, because Danger is the worst of all time. Danger is, I mean, what is their power set? Nobody knows because nobody gives a fuck. Who is Danger? I don't know. And that's basically what I'm saying. So, Danger, you're blue, and that is, I mean, that's bad in and of itself. Do better,
That's it.
Danger.
All right.
I like the tactic there.
The tactic was, who the fuck is this character anyway?
Yeah, which actually works for the worst of all time. Like, if you don't know the character and you have to then say why they're the best of all time, impossible.
That's hilarious.
Man, I forgot I even put Danger
Super Cop
in
said,
here.
I don't have room in my life for Danger, and I would have to agree.
I wasn't supposed to put neither on there, but it's okay. Did Casey convince you or not that Danger is the worst character of all time?
Do you like Danger, Sean?
I do. I thought the Danger arc in Astonishing was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the idea that the Danger Room is like sentient and angry. I get why Danger rubs some people the wrong way, but I don't know. I'm into her.
Do you like that she's in Token?
I think that's very interesting, dude.
Mm.
I would like that of all the characters that have ended up in that
It's
game
a
so
wild
far.
ass pick.
Whoa. But it's like, okay, the Danger Room personified. That makes sense.
Yeah. Is the Danger Room a stage? Can't be if she's a playable character.
I think it should be a stage.
Mm.
I think that would be a 6 stage. Because they fight Danger in the Danger Room.
That's true. Don't we have a imminent announcement about talking soon? They've been teasing the Avengers side of things.
I don't know. I haven't kept up
No.
that granularly.
Look at that.
When they fight Danger, does she say, "You're inside me right now"? Because that would be creepy.
Which by the character design and Token, maybe.
And hey, as it turns out, Casey, you convinced the audience that Danger is the worst of all time. 56% of the voters said yes. 31% said no. And neither, which really shouldn't be there, is 13%. So
honestly, I think that you guys, the audience is super nice. I would have honestly sided with the no, but oh my goodness. Danger, like
that could have been your whole argument.
Word. You even need to say anything else. All right, let me give away these last channel memberships here before we free you. You guys have been so great. April has been amazing. Let's end it on a positive note, on a really good note, and give away some channel memberships, huh?
All right, we got Heroes getting one. The RSTD one getting one. One of my favorite names, Harry Potter Obama. Colt Dog and Mohammed Sharez.
Hell yeah. I love it when we recognize some of the names that are getting these gifted memberships.
Heroes and Harry Potter Obama are frequent chatters.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. Casey, Dude, you have been an incredible guest. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me on. I've really enjoyed talking to you guys. I hope I was additive and not like a lump. You guys, like I said, you guys keep me company every week while I'm at work. So I 100% appreciate your show. Uh, and it has really affected how I shop for comics
Hmm.
because you really you break it down and you've gotten me excited about mainstream comics again, which for the longest I wasn't. You know, you kind of get into a um I just read indie stuff or whatever. Um I just read stuff that I've gotten off of Kickstarters. Now I'm like, let's go to that comic shop. Let's see what they're doing. And so as much as we were talking about how Marvel's kind of shit in the bed right now, I mean, the state of things is pretty good. There's a lot of gold out there. You just got to dig for it.
And where can people find you on the internet, brother?
Oh my goodness. Okay, I am Robots Eat Guitar on Instagram, and the Comic Jam. You can look for me there, the Comic Jam underscore alt on Instagram, and also on Threads. I'm also on the Butterfly app, um,
That's Blue
as
Sky.
Robot C Guitar. Yeah, Blue Sky.
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
I always forget.
And
Yeah.
I'm still on Twitter, although I should probably just cut bait. That's just successful.
I'm still on there
Um,
too, dude. It's just the nature of things.
it's such a bummer. But yeah, yeah. 100% check out the Comic Jam. If you want to get an opportunity to join the Comic Jam, we'd love to have you. Um, it's such a good experience, and it's it's really upped my love for comics, creating, and teamwork. So yeah, I would love for people to get that experience.
And if you want the Bigfoot Knows Karate God Killer experience, May 6th is when that Kickstarter goes live. We will be
Absolutely.
live this Monday with our uh, book club about Hawkeye. That's the
Hmm.
street level, Marvel street level book club. We'll do that on Monday. Then Tuesday, we're going to be interviewing Stephanie Williams. Then also on Monday, Pals Previews drops. Thursday at 8 p.m., we're live for Pals Polls. Saturday is Free Comic Book Day next week. And do you know what we're doing? We are interviewing Kelly motherfucking Thompson.
She's a delight.
Yes, she
Oh yeah.
is.
Oh yeah.
This will be our third trip around with her, and I can't wait for it. Until then, for all things Comics Pals, make sure you're on our Discord server. JetX is going to be doing the Infinite Frontier presentation there here at 2 p.m. We will see you all over the net. Thank you so much for listening.